Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting the Shit. Yeah. It has been a month, I think, since the worst list, but we've since rewatched it. Mm-hmm. No one else did, but we liked it.
Yeah, it was so goddamn long that by the time we finished it, a month had already passed. Yeah.
But yeah, some stuff came up in life. Very unfortunate. We couldn't. We meant to do it the next day, but
it's a month later.
Yeah, it is now a month later. But we're here, man, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
It's just we're friends. Life's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like it's just good to be here talking to you. So now we got all the negativity out of the way.
Yeah, feeling pretty good, man.
Yeah. 3 hours worth of negativity, and we're ready to just be nice to things.
Yeah.
And I'm debating whether we're adding a little bit too because we have a segment that we're gonna use. But I'm genuinely wondering how much longer this one's gonna be or shorter.
Yeah.
Because we've shown that when we talk about good things, we have a tendency to go off the rails. There's not much we could say besides, it was pretty good. I liked this thing, and you're like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and the podcast.
Yeah, and the podcast.
15 minutes.
But whatever, man. Like, whatever, man. We're having a good time. So we're here. Like, the way we're gonna organize this one is first we're gonna discuss if since in the month that we've recorded, if we've seen any new movies that didn't make that didn't make our top 10 best, or maybe is there some new additions to your bottom 10, or was there just some stuff in between? So we're just going to discuss real quick. I think you have more than me probably, so I'm going to go first.
Well, I actually don't have too much.
Yeah, well, I've only seen the one movie since then.
Yeah.
So I recently watched Cars 3, and I haven't seen Cars 2.
Yeah.
Which I heard, like, I haven't heard too much about how people rank the Cars movies.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, like,
I'm assuming it goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Actually, no. Like, I hate 3. I think 3.
No, that's what I mean. Like, first best, second is the middle, third's the worst.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, well, I think it depends on how much I can stomach Mater, because I think that's a big thing, because that makes people hate the second one. Mm-hmm. But, like, I haven't seen the second one. I don't care to, honestly. But the third one was atrocious in this, like, really dumb way. Because, honestly, like, the reason I think I might hate this more than 2, I'm not going to see 2, so I'll never know. But 2 seems like it's bad because it's annoying. Yeah. Like, Cars 3 was really poorly put together.
I heard it was just like Rocky meets like Talladega Nights.
Yeah, like think of like Rocky, but the movie was about like his trainer. Like that's what, and it wasn't about Rocky until the end. Like, well, first off, like, because they killed Doc. Like, Doc's dead. Like, I don't.
They straight up murdered him.
I don't know if they should. No, he just passed away, I think. Oh. And I guess that happened in the first, in the second one or something. I don't know.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, in the same movie that, Mater is like a fucking spy.
Yeah.
This Doc just dies.
I don't know if he dies on screen. I think I don't know. I don't know anything about the second one.
Jesus Christ.
But like Doc is dead in the thing because they're always referencing like, oh, I wish you could have seen me. So like,
I'm just imagining it's like what was it, like Rocky 3?
Yeah.
When, like, fucking Lightning McQueen comes back, and then he's like, how'd you do, kid? He's like, oh, the race ended in, like, under a minute, or something. He's like, I knew you could do it, kid. Like, he actually lost, but I can't say that because you're dying. And then he just dies, and the dog just dies.
Yeah.
So that might be you've never seen Rocky 3, right?
I have not seen, I've only seen Creed. Yeah.
You've only seen Creed?
I do. Creed's fantastic.
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
but like, Creed. We should do Creed. I have Creed. I own Creed.
We need to do Rocky 1 through 4.
And then Creed.
Yeah, fucking, yeah, we can skip 5. We can skip Rocky Balboa because Rocky Balboa is fucking. Yeah. Have you ever seen? Have you heard of Rocky Balboa?
Like that's like the fifth movie, right?
No, there's like a 5th one that nobody knew about, with like where he trained somebody. Yeah. I don't know how nobody knows about that one. Let's skip that one. Yeah. And then Rocky Balboa is he's like an old ass man going up against the equivalent of Mayweather.
But okay, like so what happens is that there's this bright shiny new car that's in the races.
Yeah.
And
Ivan Drago.
No, that's kind of. His name is.
Well, you've never seen 4.
Right? Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies.
I'm just gonna be making Rocky references this whole time.
So, like the whole thing is like, oh, Lightning McQueen's getting old.
Yeah.
And so they start like a bunch of like first off, like it wants me to take it seriously so hard. There's this one scene, and they really don't acknowledge that they're talking cars. Like, not like, I'm not saying they have to bring it up, but like the movie should have a tone that lets you like they're fucking talking cars. Okay, like this isn't a Bug's Life where like there's real stakes because of what they are, because this is a real world.
Or Toy Story.
Yeah. Like what makes those movies work and on an emotional level is because they exist in a world that makes sense to us, and that like you relate their issues to how we know them in real life.
Yeah, like how we respect those things.
Yeah.
As humans.
Cars exist in a world where everything is cars, so nothing fucking makes sense. And I'm like, so like, there's this one scene that made me laugh immensely. The scene that made me laugh the second, like one of his friends is retiring, and he was all like, dude, how could you retire? How could you? And he's like, I asked my uncle one day, when will I know when I retire? And he said, the youngsters will tell you. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And then like the car crash happens, and it's I bursted out laughing because it's so over dramatic.
Dude, I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah,
like, this is Ricky Bobby. If they did that, but they took it seriously.
Yeah. Oh my god. So like, okay, so it starts making this. You need to train to get better to defeat the new guys. So the movie starts, and then like, out of nowhere, he meets this new car that's training him, and she's like, "Oh, I wanted to be a racer the whole time." But the movie's about him beating the guys, and then it isn't until like an hour in that we're like, you know what, we need to go visit Doc's old, like, and then so they find
you visit them in the nursing home.
So they find Doc's old like Doc's trainer, and he functionally is the exact same thing as Doc. The point where they did not need to kill Doc. Like the exact same personality, serves the exact same dry like counterpart, like so like we're an hour in of just fucking, because right now at this point we don't even have a fucking like conflict. We have an inciting incident. We have an inciting incident that Lightning McQueen cannot defeat Jackson Storm, so we spend like an hour meandering about before they're finally like, shit, you need to go find his mentor. And then they get there, we're an hour and a half in, when suddenly like we're halfway through the race when Lightning McQueen decides like, you know what, I should let the younger person handle this. And then, like, the younger car subs for him, and then it becomes about Lightning McQueen training someone.
No, you know what it should have been?
What?
It should have been, like, in Rocky 3, where, like, Lightning McQueen's like, dude... No, not Rocky 3, Rocky 4. Yeah. Where McQueen's like, dude, I can take this guy. He's high functioning, but I can still take him. And then he fucking dies. And then the car's like, if he dies, he dies. So then
I know that reference. I do know.
Then the new car has to go to Russia to train. And then when she wins, she can be like, if I can change, you can't do.
To make it exactly Rocky.
To the whole country of Russia.
Stop.
Yeah, at the end of Rocky, when he wins, he tells Russia, if I could change, you can't do.
To all of Russia?
So basically, Rocky 4, like, I love it to death, but it's like, he ends communism.
Rocky ends communism?
Yeah, that's what it should have been called.
Yeah. Oh
Rocky
my God.
4, Rocky ends communism.
But yeah, like, the movie was just a super, like, shitty. And also, I think the most egregious thing about the movie was, okay, so this Cars universe has set up that the worst thing that can happen to you is getting into a collision. So like they ruin like Doc's career. Like every time there's a collision, it's super like fucking dramatic. Like so like Doc had one, the Dynaco in the first one had one. Lightning McQueen has one in this. So that if there's one thing in this world that is consistent, is that getting into a collision is fucking devastating. Yeah. They visit a destruction derby where shit's getting fucked up everywhere, and it's comedic. Dude, why should I care? Like
it's like a fucking battle royale in real life where people are hacking their limbs off.
Yeah,
and shit.
Yeah. It's like, how am I supposed to take your like super serious collision shit seriously when you're being selective on who the collision? Like, it's sad when it happens. It's sad when it happens to the main character. But when this fucking poor hillbilly ass car gets fucking wrecked by a school bus, I'm supposed to just think it's funny? Fuck you. And why are there school buses in this universe? What are they taking? I mean, I assume cars go to school. But like they don't, because they're cars. how do kids travel alone to school? What if they live far away from? Dude.
Was there a Cars 911?
There had to be.
Was there a Cars World War? Was there a Cars?
There was, because there's a World War II Jeep.
Oh,
shit. There's a World War II Jeep that lives in
Radio.
Radio.
There was fucking World War II.
Yes, then there's a car Germany. There's a car.
Wait,
Japan.
I forgot this was happening in Cars 60s.
Yeah,
the first one was happening in the 60s.
Really, was it?
Oh no, like Route 60. No, I think it was happening like after the 60s.
Something
No,
like that.
Doc was in the 60s.
Yeah, so it was like, I'm pretty sure it was modern times.
I was confused because like Route 66 was like a 60s thing.
Oh, okay.
But like at the same time, they said like, oh yeah, we're kind of
Route 66 still exists, dude.
Huh? Yeah, but I mean, it's not like a tourist trap or anything.
I mean, that's true. But yeah, so there's a car hippie and there's a car World War II Jeep, and they have like a rapport. So that means there was car World War II, which means there was car Pearl Harbor,
car Vietnam.
Like there was car World War. There was a car
Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, like dude, there's car everything. This is our world.
The Cars War on Terror.
Yeah.
Where they fought for blood.
Car War on Drugs by Car Richard Nixon.
Yeah. Where they fucking fought for... Hey, the fight for oil was real, dude. That would actually be a very interesting movie.
Dude, okay. So, what have you seen since then, or what do you want to bring up?
I saw Rocky 1 and 2 recently.
Something from this year, asshole.
I just want to bring it up real quick because I'm not gonna go into detail about the movies. I just want to say like it's funny because like we were gonna go to me and my mom were gonna go to Corpus because I needed to go find a book or whatever, right? So and we're like watching Rocky 1, and it ended, but they were showing a marathon of all of them.
Oh, okay.
So then they started Rocky 2, and it was like, hey, you want to leave already and to go so we can get it out early? And I was like, I kind of want to watch Rocky 2. So then she was like, I kind of want... So we watched Rocky 2, the whole thing, within like 2 hours. And then Rocky 3 started. And Mom was like, do you just want to stay in and watch Rocky? I was like, I really want to. But I know I didn't get this book. So on Rocky 3, we left.
So instead of like, man, we need to...
Dude, I could have seriously stayed there all day watching Rocky.
Oh, that's lovely. That sounds like a great night. Like, or great wherever time it was.
Yeah, like that's a whole day, dude.
Yeah, dude. All of the
fucking Rocky.
Hang on. I own all of the American Pie movies now. So
why do you own all the American Pie movies?
Okay, so all right, so
what context do you own? Would you not own any Rocky movies? You own the American Pie saga.
Yeah, dude, all 4 of them. Well, all 4 of the main ones. I don't have any of the okay, so what happened was...
Do you have Bandcamp?
I do not, but those are on the spin-offs are on Netflix. So I feasibly can marathon every single American Pie movie.
You should try the Naked Run. That was actually pretty decent.
Really? Did you think so? I feel like I hated that one the most.
Well, actually, I watched it a while back.
Yeah.
So it probably didn't age well.
Okay. So I had a friend who was having this garage giveaway.
Oh,
not a garage sale, a garage giveaway.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so we went, and I just he's like, you own all the American Pie movies? Like, yeah, like I'm taking these because I knew like we have the opportunity to do all of the American Pie movies, and as men comment on how sexist they are, because there are immensely sexist, yes. But okay, so
very sexist towards pastries.
Yes.
I mean that pie did not consent.
You just.
People call it masturbation, but what really happened is he raped that pie.
He did. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. But okay, so is that all you did, or did you see any? Did you see a 2017 movie since the last time we recorded?
Well, I've seen a few actually, but like most of them ended up like on my best or honorable mentions list.
Okay, so we won't talk about. We'll get there.
Yeah, but I will mention that after reviewing the reception that Bright got, I would probably move it up to number 4. No, not 4. I'll move it up to 3 worst.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I'll move it past Bad Moms. Mainly because people actually liked it.
Yeah.
And I can't accept that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Dude, people like this more than they like The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, dude, that's that's insane. It's proof that there's like just sexism in this world. Like it is like, well, because like no one can like. It's not propaganda, but it'd be like impossible to deny that The Last Jedi does do a lot with women, and it does it really well, in my opinion. We'll get to that though. We will get to that. But like, so I can like, and like the fact that like people like Bright so much, where like they genuinely like have this woman character that is functionally no different than a fucking sack of potatoes. Like, if you replace that elf girl there with...
That would be fucking great.
Like...
It was just a fucking sack of potatoes.
Yeah, dude. Like, that would have been amazing.
You're bright?
So, so, like, people are very willing to ignore literally everything about filmmaking.
Yeah.
Just to see a couple of dudes just be, like, testosterone, like, dick-having, like, bitch, like, just, like waving guns around, like, we're gonna get into a gunfight titty bar right now, or like whatever, or however we said.
Like, you could have just changed that to a normal bar.
Yeah, like we're gonna be titty bar die right now. Like, you're just gonna die, bro. I don't know why you feel the need to mention that you are indeed in a gentleman's club. Like,
why? Yeah, it could have. Why did they fucking write that?
Yeah,
here's how I first found out that people fucking actually like this movie. So I was watching this girl talk about it. And she was mentioning some weird shit like, oh man, people don't really want to give it a chance because it's very comic bookish.
Yeah.
And like people don't.
That's not remotely true.
Yeah, well, she says like Image Comics, a specific like brand of comics.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, I remember something else that someone else said, which is Image Comics. They focus so much on the image but no substance. So I was like, so I had to go down this fucking rabbit hole, and I found out like tons of people love this movie.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I mean, like, again, we're in Lindsay Ellis fans, and and a good chunk, like everything she said, like she even opened my eyes to some of the shit I didn't like really think about too. Like I like the fucking shorthand of having the orcs. Like gangsta flavor, like and just like
I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird also because like black people exist in this universe.
Yeah, like that's another.
So you have gangbangers and then you have orc gangbangers.
Yeah, like every time she was explaining the history, like it was just a fucking mess. Like
I also appreciate how she acknowledged that Mexicans don't get shit for the Alamo.
Yes,
that is something that we brought up.
Yeah, I was really happy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever got shit for that? Like, no, dude.
Yeah, she posted on Twitter like, okay, I have to, because I was there for when she announced it on Twitter. Because I follow her, and she asked like, do Mexicans get shit for the Alamo? And there's just a bunch of Mexicans that were like, no, like we don't. Like
this is the first time I'm hearing this.
Like I'm like I don't,
like the racism cuts so deep that you don't even know how to be racist.
Yeah, like she
he's so racist it just loops back around to not being racist.
Yeah. Dude, Bright's so fucking bad, dude. Like,
yeah, it's my number 3 now because like I was willing to give it a pass when I first watched it because I sort of assumed that the collective would watch this movie and think it's bad.
Yeah,
but that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, that's the same. It's the same thing with me too, where like it almost makes you hate it more that people are dumb enough to like. Okay, you're not dumb if you like this thing, but you're definitely dumb if you think there's any merit to it. Like, yeah,
because I've been hearing a lot of people say like it's high concept.
Well,
here's the thing. You know what high concept means? Because I googled it. It just means it's fucking easy to pitch to a person.
Yeah,
it's easy to pitch. It's like so it's basically saying like you're marketable as fuck.
Yeah,
based on a simple premise.
Dude, it's so bad and like it's so bad.
Oh man.
But alright, so. If we're good on the side stuff, we spent 20 minutes on that. Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We talked about...
We haven't seen each other in a while. It's been a while. It's just nice. Dude, this is great to see you, man. Like, okay, so let's just get in on it.
Fuck, I hate Bright.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Bright when I first watched it.
Yeah,
but,
dude. Yeah, dude. I was...
And, you can... No, here's the thing that bothers me. Like, if you like it, that's fine. But... I saw a lot of reviews saying like, "Oh yeah, critics were paid off to not like this movie."
Yeah, dude.
Like, oh my god, I don't, fucking.
Dude, like honestly, okay.
You're not giving this a chance. It's great. It's like, dude, like we gave it a chance.
Yeah, we watched it probably more than once. I watched it more than once, like with you and by myself. Yeah. I watched it more than once, and it was bad. It got worse each time. But and that doesn't even make sense because I honestly I mean, it's not true. But, like, if I were to want, for whatever reason, to give, like, the DCEU any credit, at least Marvel has the money to functionally, like, pay off critics. Yeah. Netflix, like, has no reason. Because you're watching it anyway. They don't give a shit. Like, once you've seen it, you've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Netflix is, like, they got that streaming view. And honestly, like, with the ease that you can watch it, it's not, no critic... like is gonna stop because like honestly if you click it you're like, oh Bright, and 10 minutes in you stop they got you. They got that. Like that's the view. Like so like Netflix had literally no reason to pay off any critic.
Yeah.
Like or anyone had any reason to pay off any critic because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
and like, dude, I never thought like I'm gonna change it right now to like number 3.
So if you want to see that, be sure to follow Adiel and me on Letterboxd. It's awesome app if you're into movies. They don't sponsor us. Why the fuck would they? But I would love to be sponsored by Letterboxd one day.
Great.
Yeah. I would gladly.
Oh, it's gonna be weird though if I look back on this like years later. I'm gonna be talking about Bright, and I look at my Letterboxd like I had it at 8 in the podcast. But fuck it. Like this has to be addressed.
Yeah. So, if that's all that's gonna be mentioned, I think we can get into the honorable mentions. Same thing as before. It doesn't have to be in the order of 13, 12, and 11. Yeah. It's just a movie you feel like bringing up. And that didn't make your top 10. I'll go first again. We'll each get 3. I wanted to bring up, of course, I wanted to just start out the whole shebang, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman!
Yeah, I desperately wanted to keep it in my top 10. I made an absolute effort. I tried really hard to keep this in my top 10, but the movie started getting too good, dude. And I can't
that's funny. I had the exact opposite problem.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Because like my with Wonder Woman specifically. Yeah. Because as soon as I watched it, like this is objectively one. Because at the time it was like this is objectively one of the better movies. But I really didn't like it. I didn't love it enough to like feel comfortable putting on the top 10. So I just had I kept it off the top 10 intentionally until I saw some good movies. Like, okay, now I feel comfortable.
Oh, okay, all right. But yeah, dude, I had a lot of fun with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like I think like Movie Bob said it pretty well. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's the kind of thing where like as a film, it's not super perfect, but like it did what made superhero movies great is that it like inspired, and it was just like it offered you an iconic visual. Because that scene where she rolls up out of like no man's land rolls up into no man's land, like that's gonna stand the test of time. There's no way it's not. And it just like it's beautiful to think like how much people were inspired by the superheroes of yore, and how the kids now are gonna like, especially like young girls who are gonna have that and are gonna I'm glad I'm in love with the fact that it exists.
Yeah, and I feel the same way because I was thinking about the first Spider-Man movie, and when all of New York comes to Peter Parker's aid, when he's struggling, and that was a very powerful moment for me. I was like, I felt a strong connection with that character because everybody in that movie, in that scene, felt what I felt. So I'm like, I really get that. Having that, especially for young girls who really didn't have that until now. Or
if they did, they had to excuse the fact that it was from a guy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like they're like regardless of how because you could be inspired by someone of another gender. Yeah. It's very easy. You that's a crazy thing people don't get about representation, is that like we as Mexicans have been inspired by cis white men all our lives, and we didn't mind.
Of course not.
And now that there are a few of people looking like us that are getting something, they're fucking mad. Like I had a friend of mine who like she's older. I asked her like, what was your favorite movie that like really like was good to you when you were a kid? Like, oh, I love The Goonies. And she's a woman. And I'm like, I love The Goonies, man. I adore The Goonies. And I'm like, so the fact that they were all boys, there wasn't a single. Was there a girl in that movie?
There was 2 girls.
And were they in the group?
They weren't necessarily. They didn't start off. They weren't part of the crew that like went there. They were just like they sort of just tagged along, but they were still in the movie.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen The Goonies in forever.
But they did relegate one girl to being the love interest.
Oh, okay, of course.
And one girl was just like the sort of kind of butch.
Oh. Kind of like in the Little Rascal.
No, more.
Not the Little Rascals.
Butch sort of means like tomboy. So she was like tomboyish.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Butch is a bit aggressive of a word, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But yeah, like it's kind of like
I meant tomboy.
Yeah, in that Dennis the Menace movie where they had that little girl who was in the tank and the pants, and they're like, she's all like, that's a girl, and he was all like, not a girl.
She wasn't like super. She just had short hair, but she was kind of fun. She was funny because like. when the Mikey, I think the main kid,
Yeah.
He kisses the girl, right?
Yeah.
But she thinks that it was like his brother or something.
Oh.
And the friend, the girl, the tomboy, she saw this and she knew, but she didn't say anything. She's like.
But yeah, like so, yeah, I was inspired by the Goonies, and like
Yeah.
the fact that they were like little boys, like mostly, didn't affect your feeling of it. Like, no, of course not. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy that the white people can't fucking handle that. Like when we've been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
Like my God.
It's
like
oh yeah, it's true. It's like I can look past.
Yeah, like
this dude's because like I always identify with like more nerdy characters.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Like in whatchamacallit, The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Like I love Benny the Jet Rodriguez, but my favorite was always Smalls.
Yeah.
Because he was just like this awkward white kid.
Yeah, like but you connected with him because you were looking at the character.
Yeah, it's like he's an awkward kid.
Which
like
is,
the fact that he was white didn't bother me.
Yeah, or anything like that. You just connected with him as a person,
Yeah.
which is how it should be. But y'all are fucking wilding out. Like,
here's the thing: people just sort of jump to conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh, this character isn't a character. He's just an ethnic minority that they put in to push their diversity agenda."
Yeah.
It's like maybe
yeah,
you're not looking at this from the full picture. Maybe someone who is that ethnicity says that, like, "Hey, I love this guy who is me." No, who represents me as not only as a person, but as an ethnicity.
I can finally. I don't have to look past the physical differences. The same, and it's just, I don't know. Like these are just adults, though. I'm thinking of like I can't help but think of every like maybe like even like not just like honestly like I can't wait for like all the children to see stuff like Black Panther and Wonder Woman, which we I'm not sure if we'll see it together, but we're definitely doing a video on. Yeah. But like this, I can't wait. Even like all kids of all races are gonna see Black Panther.
Dope,
yeah, and it's just gonna be great. Yeah. Like, and it's gonna be fun. Did you see that cute little video? I'll show it to you afterwards.
I just want to say that, when Young Justice came out, it blew my fucking mind when the Blue Beetle was like this Mexican kid.
Oh yeah.
Jaime Reyes. I was like, dude, I fucking love this dude.
Yeah, man.
Like, just because he's Mexican. Like, I'm fucking serious. Like, this dude's Mexican. Like, dude, I'm down with that.
Yeah, dude. It's great.
You know what? That's weird. That's kind of weird that other people can't accept the fact that I like a character just because he's my race.
Well, yeah, it was because, like, it's mostly white people who probably can't handle that because they've had representation their whole life. They've never had to think about it. Yeah. We have. And, like, it's really easy to feel like it doesn't matter when you've had it your whole life. And like now, so like, yeah, I love seeing characters that are like Mexican or something of a different race, and like I'll love them just for that.
Yeah.
Like
dude, like fuck yeah.
Yeah, like dude, yeah, my fucking homie, like Holmes, how you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, Bessie?
Yeah, like you been getting shit for the Alamo too, like yeah, like we're gonna stick together.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. I didn't do the Alamo. Like, only we're allowed to do this.
Pinche gringos,
way. Yeah, like eso puta, way. Nah.
No mames, way.
But yeah, Wonder Woman's great.
No, yeah.
The encapsulating point is I can't wait for the children that are being inspired by the likes of Wonder Woman and soon to be Black Panther to grow up, and it'll lead to a better world.
Yeah, I sort of feel like a kind of an asshole though, because when I actually rewatched it recently because
Wonder Woman.
Because my mom owns it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my brother, she loves Wonder Woman, so my brother bought it for her.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was watching it with my oldest brother, and we're watching it, right? And in the very beginning, where they're like on Themyscira, I couldn't help but me and my brother, because my brother, my oldest brother, like all of us, we love the movie Troy. Yeah. So we're just quoting Troy, and that whole point, just quoting shit like lions don't make pacts with men. Like, you won't have eyes tonight, or ears, or a tongue. You will walk the underworld blind, deaf, and dumb, and all will know this is Hector, the fool who thought he killed Achilles. And I was like, man, I kind of wish I was watching Troy right now. What do you think? No, just like at that one part at the beginning where it's like kind of like that. Because the movie, as a superhero movie, is pretty solid. Yeah. It's just that beginning part that sort of mimics that, I guess, old Greek god, like Greek fighting. Yeah. Like, I don't think it was as strong. But that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like a piece of shit. Like, I would rather be watching this testosterone-filled, blood-soaked battle where there's shit tons of one-liners than a female power.
Whatever.
We should watch Troy.
Yeah.
Where's the fucking...
The only scene of Troy I've seen is the one where he screamed like, Hector! Hector! And then they fight, and it was a good fight scene. Like,
yeah. Like, that was a great... There's tons of great fight scenes.
Yeah. So, alright, so moving forward. Sorry. I know you have one more thing to say?
It's just another quote.
No, it's fine.
Just like, all my life, I've lived by a code. Honor the gods. Love your woman. And protect your country. Troy is brother to us all. Fight for her. I can go all day with fucking Troy quotes. I love that movie.
We will not be doing that. So
that should be the name of the podcast. Troy quotes. Where we just quote Troy for an hour. Or I quote Troy for an hour.
Alright, so what is your first honorable mention?
Honorable mention is shit. Alright, this one's going to one that I saw recently.
Okay.
It's called Brigsby Bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's got Mark Hamill.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which he's not in it too much, but he's still in it.
Yeah, okay.
So there's this dude. He's like a 20-something-year-old dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's just living with his parents, right? Just going day in and day out. And every day he's watching this show. It's like a kid's show called Brigsby Bear.
Yeah.
And he's like really fucking into it, right?
Uh-huh.
So then it turns out like these parents fucking kidnapped him when he was a child.
Oh my god.
And it turns out that Mark Hamill was making Brigsby Bear for him alone.
What? Like, is Brigsby Bear like a toy? Like...
It's like a children's cartoon.
Oh, okay.
It's a children's show,
kind
of like in the vein of like
in the universe of the film.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not Barney, but like sort of like that type of like kids show.
Yeah. Okay.
So like Mark Hamill was making this show like weekly for this kid. And he fucking loved it. And so he finds out like, oh shit, they're not like this isn't a thing. People don't know about this, right? When he goes back to his original family.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just gonna like make a movie then about Brigsby Bear. So it's about him trying to re-enter society while also making this movie Brigsby Bear.
Oh, it's like a documentary?
No, it's not a documentary.
Oh, okay.
It's a fake.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't real.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Mark Hamill kidnaps a child.
Mark Hamill and his wife kidnaps a child. He grows up to be like 20-something, right?
Yeah.
And when they take him away, he learns that people don't know about Brigsby Bear.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, dude, I fucking like Brigsby Bear. How do I explain this? It's very inspiring how much like it means to him because like the fact that he could talk to other people about this show and about how much it means to him, like it meant the world to him.
Yeah.
But he found out that his like it was a closed network on his computer, so he was just talking to his parents. So he's like, I really just want to share Brigsby Bear with the world. I just want to share something that I love with the world. And he's doing this by making the Brigsby Bear movie.
Oh, okay.
And the reason it's not on this list is that it's a little too optimistic. Like, because as soon as he gets out, he makes friends immediately. He's kind of awkward, but like people don't give him too much shit. And like they keep showing this show Brigsby Bear, right? Like they show clips, and the way they made it look, it's like they made it. Like Mark Hamill made it to condition his son to do shit.
Okay.
Like, oh, only touch your penis twice a day, and oh, make sure to throw your trash in the yellow bin, not the red bin. Like, just kind of weird shit like that. And one of the dudes, he like puts these clips online, right?
Yeah.
And people like, oh man, this is fucking great, right? And I'm seeing this, I'm like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna find out that people like it ironically, and that's gonna fucking hurt because it really is. It would really hurt if people take something that you love as a joke. Yeah. But no, whenever they talk to him about it, like they legitimately love it, and he fucking screens the movie in an actual movie theater.
Oh, okay. So it all worked out a little too cleanly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing that made me keep it off this list.
Oh, that sucks.
But other than that, it's not a bad movie, and I would definitely recommend it. It's kind of weird though. But
yeah, I mean, it sounds like a weird concept.
Yeah.
I wish we could discuss it more, but I literally know nothing about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing he's like when he was talking about like these people that he would talk to online, he's like, so what, Brigsby Boy 1 isn't real, and Brigsby Boy 2 and 3, what about Brigsby girl? It's like clearly fucking not real. But like he doesn't know any better. And the reveal of it is pretty good too. I feel like I spoiled that for you also.
Yeah, you initially like I was like, wait.
Like I can't really talk about it because it starts off like he's just in his house talking about Brigsby Bear, and like you slowly like there's some weird shit going on. Like I can't really talk about it without fucking spoiling the whole thing.
So wait, is the fact that he was kidnapped a twist at the end?
Oh no, it wasn't a twist at the end. It was like the very beginning.
Oh, okay.
You find out that like it sort of sets up like weird shit's going on, and then he's kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
And then when he's in the real world, he wants to share Brigsby Bear with the world because he thought everybody knew about it, but nobody does.
Wow, I need to check that out.
Yeah.
So moving on to my next honorable mention. That's a weird thing about like good movies is that we, not a lot, but we sometimes will watch things that like aren't like super like popular movies.
Yeah.
Because we're into movies.
Yeah.
So like we might watch something that no one the other hasn't heard of at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely some shit that you watch on like the worst of it. Like what, The Babysitter?
Oh yeah, Babysitter, Club, and Mother. All right. Well, like I guess this one isn't too unpopular, but I wanted to keep. This is another one I wanted to keep on the list, but I couldn't, unfortunately, because it wasn't perfect. It was just flawed enough to where I couldn't make it, even though I loved it so much. It's Hari Handablu, or I'm ruining that name, but The Problem with Apu.
The Problem with 3. Oh yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's a very solid documentary.
Yeah.
Detailing representation, and people were taking it horribly.
Yeah.
Because whenever you say something bad about anything, they take it like a very face value.
Yeah.
When they say like, oh hey, I'm using Apu as an example to illustrate a greater problem in representation, and people are like, you fucking hate The Simpsons, and he's just like
The Simpsons kind of did.
Yeah.
You can't deny that voice that they have Apu is kind of racist.
Yeah, it's a white guy doing it.
Yeah.
It's essentially like. It's almost like blackface. Like it's silly.
Yeah, it's like me making a funny voice, but instead I'm trying to represent an entire culture.
Yeah, like I think like he has this one great bit in his comedy, and he was all like, "Apu is voiced by Hank Azaria, a white guy. Hank Azaria is doing an impression of a guy doing an impression making fun of my father."
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's very quirkily edited.
Yeah.
It's funny. They get a lot of cool Southern Asian men. Aziz Ansari, Hassan Minaj. I don't think Mindy Kaling was in there, unfortunately, but she gets mentioned a lot. A few writers, a few doctors. Kal Penn in there was ruthless. Like Kal Penn was the only one in there who straight up said like, "I hate The Simpsons."
Yeah. Well, The Simpsons has been going down here for a while.
Yeah. But I guess like it was clearly like his first film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you can tell like this is your first movie. It's fine. It's just that you were trying to make a documentary instead of fulfilling a vision.
Yeah.
Because like the movie watches like you've seen documentaries. that is true. You didn't like really
never made one.
Yeah, like so he tried because like documentaries like when you're like searching for a big story or like searching for the answers to something, they'll usually put like an emotional weight.
So it feels less like he wanted to explore something and more like he wanted to make a documentary and used that as the story to make.
No, he wanted to explore it. It's just he was very misguided in how he structured it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So for example, like the whole thing is the whole emotional crutch of the movie was he wanted to get an interview with Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
And like that felt really out of place because like it was all built around like something that really didn't have an end to it. Like if he was gonna do that, it just seemed forced. It seems like it took away from like potentially more like interesting depth in the movie because he was so focused on getting to Hank Azaria and making the documentary about that. Which I don't even get because he was like at the end of the day, Hank Azaria's following orders.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Hank Azaria was the main crutch, but he had like Dana Gould, one of the head writers and like founders and creators of The Simpsons. Like he had an interview with him and it was just in passing. And Dana Gould clearly did not like this conversation.
Yeah.
Like Dana Gold was not okay with some of the shit that Hari was saying about Apu.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he had built the movie more around that, more around actually in depth of how he got made and the people behind it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to build it towards talking to this one guy, and he ended up not at the end. It was very well intentioned. It was a great first movie.
Yeah.
But it was just a little misguided in areas, and it could have organized some of its information a little better. But overall, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I've watched it more than once. I've easily watched it 2 to 3 times.
Nice.
Which I can't say I've ever given to a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really fun. It's just a really fun and interesting watch.
Or a movie or a documentary you should watch? You should watch Good Hair.
Yeah.
By Chris Rock.
Really?
Yeah. It's just about. I think his daughter had mentioned I want to get a perm.
Uh-huh.
He's like, why do you want to get a perm? He's like, well, I want to have good hair. So he's like, so he made a whole documentary about different cultures and how they view good hair.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very interesting.
That's cool. I need to be more into documentaries. A handful of ones I've seen. I saw Blackfish. Blackfish is good. The one about SeaWorld?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
One.
But
that one's fucking hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you're next honorable mention.
So remember how I said on Sword Art Online where I drove an hour and a half to go see it?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the only movie that I went to go an hour and a half out to see.
What else did you...
Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions.
Oh my god. You know what? This is your second honorable mention, right? And
yeah.
I already got 2. All right. Well, my honorable mention was going to be that too. So let's just group that together, and then you'll just say your next one after that.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's fucking fun, dude. I think the biggest thing, it's flawed, and that's why I took it off because
hella flawed.
But at the end of the day, this movie didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have the cultural significance as something like Dragon Ball Z has.
Yeah.
So Dragon Ball Z, it makes sense for them to have a movie. Yu-Gi-Oh! They could have not made it and nobody would have given a shit.
Yeah.
But they did, and they just put a lot of heart, or they at least, it felt like they cared about the fans.
Yeah, it did. Because I'd go so far as to say, as a movie, Yu-Gi-Oh! Does not function well. It is not
To be fair, all of these anime movies, set after a series, to a certain extent, are made for the fans.
Yeah.
You can't go watch fucking this movie or Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie in 2004 or Dragon Ball Battle of the Gods or Sword Art Online without knowing what the fuck it is.
Yeah. But dude, to understand why you have to understand our unabashed adoration for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my god.
It was
dude, I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah.
No matter how it's a show that you can watch as a kid and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And when you're an adult, you can look back and man, it's so cheesy, but it's still fun to watch.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I was trying to rewatch it the other day on Crunchyroll. I was watching the sub.
Yeah.
And the sub is harder to sit through, honestly, because it gets rid of some of the pomp of the English dub because it's not as cheesy.
Here's the thing. We always give shit to people for saying pot of greed, I'll draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. In real life, whenever one of we play a lot in high school, whenever anybody played a pot of greed, they would say, I play a pot of greed and it allows me to draw 2 cards.
Yeah,
or I play pot of greed. What does that do?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, okay, again, this movie does not function as
definitely
as
not.
as for plot. Does not work.
Yeah.
The villain is worthless and not threatening.
Yeah, dude, they beat him midway through, before midway through the movie.
Yeah, defeating him was not the issue, but Kaiba was phenomenal.
Dude, fucking first scene of this movie, you see Kaiba in a fucking space station. with the Millennium Puzzle. And then you find out he just has an elevator from the ground to the fucking
space.
The fucking greatest part of that movie was when Kaiba was walking to his elevator with his theme music going on and he fucking takes the elevator to space.
The only thing that would have made it better if as he gets in, it was don't say if I were you, Oh, tell me what to do.
Oh no, you know what's better?
What?
If when Kaiba and Yugi were dueling, they play a song. How'd it come to this? Draw the card, no matter what.
Oh my
we'll
God.
be friends forever. You fucking love. I love Yu-Gi-Oh and I love this movie, man. No matter how flawed it is.
I think honestly this could be enjoyable for non-fans too because potentially. Because they ditched a lot of the rules of the game.
Oh yeah, they made bullshit rules that make no sense.
Yeah, like the card games in the movie are actually like almost like a formality.
Yeah.
Because like they have this they play the card game, yeah, but they don't play the card game.
Yeah.
They just use it as an excuse to summon really big CGI cool looking monsters.
Yeah, which to be fair, that happens a lot in like they don't follow the rules a lot.
Yeah,
but they at least made an effort to say, "Hey, let's put in a bullshit rule."
Yeah,
so we can at least throw this.
Here there was nothing. It was just they had bullshit cards that let them do bullshit.
No, they did have a bullshit rule though.
Yeah,
the rule of you can summon it with your spirit power.
Yeah, that was
like it's bullshit. But, like, at least they acknowledge, hey, this is the reason why there's summoning bullshit. As opposed to, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie.
Yeah.
Or, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! The show, we bust out a card that he never played ever.
Ever.
And he never played it again.
I'm a little disappointed Joey didn't get one duel.
Oh, yeah. Because
I think, like, I was a little upset by that. But, like, yeah, Kaiba was really the MVP of this movie, having the most quotable lines.
Yeah.
Like, there was like, you're gonna fight me with fruits, or like,
yeah, we summoned the fucking apple.
Yeah, or like and again, the villain was right. There's this one moment where Kaiba summons Obelisk
without having the card.
Yeah, without having the card.
No, just not with having the card, but like with all the God cards basically not existing anymore.
Yeah, like the God cards don't exist. His field was full. Like his field was full.
He didn't summon him like in the game. He like real life summoned Obelisk.
Yeah, like with his hand. And then the villain rightfully was like, you can't summon him. You can't summon that monster. He's like, he's not a monster. He's a god. And you're like, and
like the funniest thing, there's like cool funny shit, but they at least acknowledge like certain fan shit.
Yeah.
Like when Kaiba gets the Millennium Puzzle, he's like, I'm gonna solve this fucking Millennium Puzzle. My first thought was like, dude, it took Yugi 7 years to solve it. And then, like, right as I thought that, Mokuba was like, dude, it took Yugi, like, 7 years to solve it.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm really rich. Like, I'll figure it out.
Like, he had to take it to, dude, he took it to space. In his elevator.
Took the Millennium Puzzle to space.
Just to have it analyzed. Like, you didn't have to take the elevator to space.
And he watched it get built. Like, it took him 4 hours. And you mentioned, like, so you're just standing there for 4 hours just watching it.
Wait, dude, if you had an elevator to your space station, would you not just chill there?
Dude. Or, like, again, like, there's that one scene, someone pointed it out. I didn't think of it like this, because I was too busy. I thought about it the way, like, the movie wanted to.
Yeah.
But there's that scene where, like, the villain tries to, like, evaporate him with magic. And then he uses like the machine to like to negate it, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But do you realize what happened in that scene? Kaiba's too rich for fucking magic to work on him. Like that's their given reason. It's like Kaiba's too rich to be affected by magic.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, dude, fucking. I love this movie. Like and also Joey, like he wasn't like a huge part of this movie, but he still had some pretty solid Joey lines.
Yeah, of course.
And just to tell you how much I love Yu-Gi-Oh! The show, is that was the first manga I bought before I even knew what manga was.
Yeah, you just saw it was Yu-Gi-Oh!
I saw it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, dude, I'm gonna buy it. Like, what? This has nothing to do with your show when people are dying? This is awesome!
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, like, yeah, so I think my dad had to take me and my brother to watch the 2004 one.
Yeah.
And he said that it was fucking grueling experience. But, like, I think he might have enjoyed this one a little bit more.
Yeah, you think so? This one is definitely, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, the 2004 Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie is definitely a much more relation to the show. Like, Yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh! 2004 was very much this is a movie that you could go see.
Yeah.
While Dark Side of Dimensions is very much this is for the fans.
Yeah.
And that's part of what made it great.
I really appreciate that because again, they have to do it.
Yeah, and especially they didn't have to dub it. That was.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They fucking got the original 4 kids.
Yeah,
dub.
dude, it was great. It was amazing.
With fucking Joey's Brooklyn ass accent.
Yeah, definitely. And it was just a lot of fun, man. And like, it helped that we had a fucking incredible crowd that day.
Oh, yeah.
We were surrounded. Like, that whole theater was full. And that theater was full of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. And we cheered. We laughed. We were so invested.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it all ends with, like, just Kaiba.
Oh,
it was so gay. It was so gay for, like, dude, Kaiba.
You can ride my motorcycle anytime.
But yeah, dude, like Kaiba wanted Atem so bad. Like
what was that fucking guy who like fucking died before everything happened? Supposedly in this movie.
Oh, the bully?
No, not the bully.
Shotty.
Yeah,
Shotty.
Like, apparently he fucking died when they were what's his name? Bakura. When Bakura was a child.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, so was he a ghost the whole time?
Yeah, I have no idea what happened there.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Did they? I don't know. Well, again, it was a great fucking time.
Yeah, it was a great experience. As a plot, mess.
Yeah.
But like it was just such good doofy fun.
Yeah.
That we couldn't resist. Well, that was gonna be my third honorable mention. So just skip on to your third one.
This goes to the biggest disappointment of 2017.
And it's on your best honorable mention?
Again, it's not a bad movie. I enjoyed it. But based on the hype that this movie got, it was kind of disappointing to see that it just turned out to be a pretty decent movie. And that movie is...
It's honorable mention. It's not...
Yeah, no. Oh, fucked up. Your Name.
Oh, wow. You did not like Your Name? Well, you didn't think Your Name was that great.
No.
Really? That was like breaking records?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, it was fucking all over the news for like half a year. And I watched it and it was like, wow, this is okay.
Oh, my wow. Well, tell me about that more, yeah.
Okay, so it's your classic body switching movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, boy switches bodies with a girl, and throughout the movie they learn to like value each other's lives or whatever through those experiences. But I mean, it really just doesn't. Through 2/3 of this movie, it really just doesn't do a whole lot. Like we learn a little bit about the girl, and it's like, all right, cool. And we really don't learn a lot about the guy.
Yeah.
So like, because like we learn the most important thing that we learn is that he has a crush on a coworker, and that, you know, because he's a boy, he can't really connect to her as well as the girl can. But the thing that bothers me is that they do a lot of setups with the boy.
Yeah.
But they don't go anywhere. Like, and when it starts off, his dad, like when they switch bodies, right? The girl is in the boy's body. The dad tells him like, "Hey, dude, it was your turn to make breakfast." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, whatever, just go to school even if you're late. So I'm like, oh, so there's no mom in the picture. And the dad's kind of like a little strict. So it's like, oh man, I wonder where this is gonna go. Doesn't go anywhere.
Oh wow.
And they mention a couple of times how like this boy, like, oh man, yeah, you got into a fight yesterday because like you're a scrappy kid, and like that's just like you're a kid who gets into a lot of fights, but like you really don't see that. I mean, I think he like drops a book once to like get back at the girls' bullies when he's in her body.
Yeah.
But I mean, we really don't see like a lot of that scrappy nature of him. And it kind of reminds me of this other show that I watched, Yamada and the Seven Witches.
Yeah.
Where it also does like the body where he switches with a girl, but like he's very clearly like a delinquent. Yeah. And she's very clearly defined as like a goody two shoes. So when he's in this girl's body, it's very the gap between who he's supposed to be and who he actually is very clear. But this one's kind of like, I don't really know too much about this guy, and the girl's backstory isn't too. It's not revolutionary. It's like it's not different, because the thing is like, oh yeah, they want her to be a certain way, and her dad's super strict because he's like the governor or like a mayor or some shit like that. Yeah, and it's just very basic.
Oh wow, that's really disappointing.
Yeah,
I'll need to like see it to see if I agree with you or anything like that. We could maybe like make a whole podcast. If I see it, we're definitely doing an episode on it.
Yeah,
we'll
and Oh, are you gonna see? Because I wanted to spoil something.
Oh, well, fuck it, go for it.
Oh, so like the third act shit gets fucking crazy. Because there's a point where like they stop switching bodies, right?
Yeah.
And the guy like vaguely remembers her, but he can't put his finger on it. So he's like, dude, I need to figure out where this place that I've been drawing is at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, he goes on an adventure to find this place, and a couple of people go with them, and then he finally finds somebody who knows what he's talking about. Like, oh, you know what this place is? Like, can you take me there? Like, oh, that place was destroyed by a meteor 3 years ago. so he's been trying. Not only has he been swapping bodies, but he's been like fucking time traveling.
Why did that's the second, like, I hate
here's
that.
The thing. So
that's the kind of thing that ruined The Girl Who Leapt Through Time for me.
like,
where like
dude, this reminds me of the fucking lake house. Have you seen the lake house?
No.
Okay, more on that if we ever do a podcast.
Yeah.
But so he finds a spiritual connection with the girl through a shrine because she was like a shrine maiden, and he connects with her, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, there was a fucking anti-witch moment
oh my God.
where like when he switches back to the girl, the grandma was like, "Oh, you're not my granddaughter," and he's like, "Oh, you know?" Like, yeah, that happened to me from time to time.
What?
But anyway, so like the whole third act of this movie is just this dude in this girl's body trying to fucking evacuate the whole city from being destroyed.
Yeah, dude, I can't deal with that sometimes. Well, that sucks, man. I need to see it.
And I was super hyped for it because it's like,
could that be it? Maybe expectations were a little too high.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad little movie. No. I mean, it probably wouldn't have made my top list even if it hadn't been like so disappointing.
Massively hyped.
But yeah. I mean, this is the outsold Spirited Away, which is a fucking phenomenal movie. Yeah. And even the fucking director of the film was like, dude, this shit isn't finished. I don't know why people love this so much. Like, dude, like,
really?
Like, he's like, he got snubbed for an Oscar. He's like, dude, like, fuck it, man. Like, it's fine. I don't give a shit. Like, this movie doesn't deserve a fucking Oscar.
Yeah, like, dude, my movie's not that great, guys.
Like, this movie doesn't deserve the fucking hype. What? That's my question. What fucking happened?
So even like the director like is like, I'm not too great, man. Like
I think it's being like, dude, it's unfinished.
Yeah.
Like, I see what he means because like they're like, you know how I mentioned that he had brought some stuff up, but it was never fully realized. It was like, oh, I understand now why I felt that way. The director was like, dude, like, this movie isn't finished. I'm not entirely proud of what I made, yet it outsold Spirited Away.
That's crazy, man. That must, like, he's gonna be defined by that now.
Yeah.
That, like everything he makes from now on is like, can you outdo that thing you're not fucking proud of? Like,
it's like if anything that's better, it's like, of course I fucking can.
Yeah, like, oh, dude, I got better. He better have better. If he's gonna outsell Spirited Away and be like, that's not even the best I can do, man, and like, he better fucking deliver. if none of his following movies are as good, he's gonna have some explaining to do. All right, so if that's all the honorable mentions.
Yeah, you're worried that we weren't gonna make time.
Yeah, we're an hour in already,
and we're just barely getting to it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'll go. We got number 10. This was just nice. I saw this one with my dad, and it was just lovely. It's the microphone probably picked up that laughing, but Batman versus Two-Face. The final movie that Adam West recorded.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty. And dude, like, watching this movie, like, I'm not gonna act like I've always been a huge fan of the cheesy '60s stuff. Like, because there are people who are like that now. Now that Adam West has unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
I'll never deny that's tragic. Adam West is phenomenal, but and he's iconic. But like people are acting like they weren't spending all their lives shitting on the '60s Batman until he died, and suddenly. He was a revolutionary, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will be damned if I, like, felt like it didn't work better animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, it's just the climate and, like, how shitty DC is now.
Yeah.
Like, just seeing a Batman that cares felt so good.
Yeah.
Like, and seeing him fight cool villains that weren't the generic one. Like, dude, he fought fucking King Tut in this movie. Fought King Tut and Two-Face. In this movie.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and the Mad Hatter's in it. And I'm just like, this is so fucking fun.
Yeah, man.
Like, this is so fun. And then, like...
This is no Judas contract.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly. And then also like, I like just him and Robin. Like just Adam West and Burt Ward maybe.
I don't know.
Something like the guy who did Robin. Just listening to them talk, they had such a loving relationship.
Yeah.
Like I like it's something that's beautiful about them is like where they'll be discussing the crime scene, which is also something that doesn't exist in modern Batman.
Yeah.
Like they'll investigate a thing and then Robin like, well, gee whiz, Batman, why would Two-Face do that? And he was like, think about it, boy wonder. Why would they be doing this? And he's like, holy moly, Batman! And then he figures it out, and I'm like, he helped him figure it out. He's teaching him. It's nice. Like, it's just
he's investigating. Like,
like they're investigating, and he's like helping Robin figure it out. And, and Robin's like kind of hot-headed, and like Batman's like, you can't be like that when you're a hero, bro. And then like Two-Face accidentally Two-Face gets control of Robin. He has to fight.
Speaking of which, like, you remember how this has nothing to do, but I just wanted to bring it up. Yeah. Like, remember how you had said in DC, like in the DC cinematic universe, how you can't imagine Jared Leto's Joker actually going up against Batman?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I realized?
What?
Like Jason Todd is dead in that movie.
Yeah.
So basically, Jared Leto's Joker took a crowbar to a little boy Robin and beat the living shit out of him, literally.
And you can't see...
Like, I can't imagine Jared Leto beating somebody to death.
Like, you can imagine Heath Ledger's Joker doing something like that. Yeah. But, like, Jared Leto's Joker is so fucking corny and, like, based around nothing but this edgy teen. Like,
he gives him...
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. Like
he gives Robin a box of condoms, then when he's looking at it, he takes a crowbar in the back of the head.
That's something I can see Jared Leto's Joker doing. Dude, like, it's just so nice. It was very...
That sounds nice.
It was very lovely. And, like, just watch it if you want to feel happy. Like, if you're just sick of watching Batman cry... Watching Ben Affleck cry and be old.
Martha!
Yeah, like, just watch this movie if you want to, like, feel genuine happiness. Like, and just feel... There's this one scene that's really funny where, like, Catwoman knocks out this female security guard so she can break out of prison. And she swaps outfits with her. And then, like, the woman police officer wakes up like, what the fuck? Catwoman totally tricked me. But then she checks herself out in the mirror in Catwoman's costume, and she's like, oh, like, and I'm like, girl, you're rocking to that. Like, yeah, like, Catwoman looked like an actual cat instead of just Anne Hathaway in a skid body too and a fucking goggles, like, in goggles.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, like, the goggles kind of look like cat ears. I don't give a shit. Like,
I mean, what happened to Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah,
I mean,
or like
that was still the best Catwoman live action in my opinion.
I guess, I mean, like,
well, I've never seen the older ones.
Yeah, but like, it was just fun, and it was just fun, and I can't and it just felt good seeing like something, especially like I watched it with my dad, and we're having a blast, like just watching this thing and being reminiscent. He was being reminiscent. I was alongside with him, and it's a breath of fresh air in a franchise of heroes that are just so grasped in darkness and edginess. Even like as fine as some of the other animated movies are, like excluding Judas Contract, like as fine. Like Arkham Assault was good. Arkham Assault was good. Like Teen Titans versus Justice League was fine. Most of the ones with Damian Wayne and Batman just chilling out are okay. It's just nice that this one was just fun. Yeah, and that's great. So what do you got for number 10?
Number 10 is one that I wasn't gonna put on for a long time until I rewatched it. Yeah, I was like, you know what, this was a pretty fun movie, and I really enjoyed it. And it was Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Really?
Yeah,
because we've had a lot of discussions on how Guardians of the Galaxy 2 wasn't super great.
Yeah, and well, it sort of like has to do with like rewatching Star Wars. Yeah, because like I feel like there's a lot of parallels. Like Guardians of the Galaxy just does things a little bit better. Yeah, I think so. Like Star Wars: The Last Jedi, it tried to give a lot of people arcs. Yeah, and I appreciate that, but they really all didn't work.
I can agree with
the way that they portrayed them. Where in Guardians of the Galaxy, the arc that each character has to go through and the similar theme of family, it all works. Yeah. Really well to where, you never feel like you're watching like a waste of time when you're cutting to a different character. Yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of people felt when they cut to like Finn and Rose, which I personally didn't feel.
Yeah, me neither.
But again, like,
but you get it.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand why someone would think this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
I just don't, because it's not. But
I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy really drives home that point a lot harder of why these characters are doing different things and what each character has to go through.
Yeah, I definitely believe. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy probably did have a tighter script than The Last Jedi. Than The Last Jedi, especially since like it was shorter. Yeah. I think that was a big thing. Like I don't remember how long Guardians of the Galaxy was, but it at least very least felt shorter than the Last Jedi. But yeah, I would never call like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a bad movie. It still like did a lot of things right.
Yeah, and it also comes down to, like, my big problem with this movie was the comedy and how it definitely wasn't as strong as the first one. It just comes off as awkward, and I still kind of believe that. But at the same time, there's a lot of awkward Star Wars, awkward jokes in Star Wars. I'm like, you know what? At least this fits a little bit better in this movie.
Yeah, because they established more that the people of the Guardians of the Galaxy are dickbags.
Yeah.
Like, so it makes sense for them to be making dickbag jokes, while most of the people in Star Wars are mostly fairly humble, nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
And then you get a weird shit of, like, Ben Solo without a shirt on. Yeah. Tucked up halfway. It's like, I just felt uncomfortable when I watched that. I'm like, what?
It's my screensaver. I just showed up right now. I love it so, like, dude. Okay, so I'm. Oh,
you know what I wanted to do?
What?
Is like whenever like you turn around or leave the room one time, and, like, take my shirt off and like put my pajamas like midway and turn around.
No, I'm Kylo Ren.
Like, would that not like trip you out?
I'll actually bring it. That'd be fucking weird.
I just stood there for like a minute.
I'm gonna get into it right now. Because my number 9 is The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi. Yeah. Dude, like, I get it. Like, reasonable people do have reasonable criticisms of The Last Jedi, and I agree with most of them. I do think the movie was too long. I think the movie did meander a bit. I do think Finn and Rose's thing felt useless. It wasn't. Objectively, it was not. Yeah, but yeah, like, it had a...
Like, I also didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, it did feel slow in comparison to everything else that was going on, and it definitely was less interesting than everything else was going on. I can't say that I was watching Finn and Rose dick about and be like, I'm super invested in this. I'm so glad we cut away from Rey with Luke or like anything fucking Poe's doing. Yeah,
he was doing shit.
Yeah. And also, I'm very big into criticizing how little Poe received punishment for everything he had done, because they gave him a solid arc. Like, his arc on paper isn't bad, but the way they executed it, there was too much death. There was too much of a death to
you
punishment.
You got demoted, captain. Yeah. Like, you're still a captain.
Yeah, dude, you killed everyone. But other than that, I loved The Last Jedi. I adored it. It's not perfect by any means, but I think like there was just enough great in it to make it like.
And honestly, I would have put it in my honorable mentions, but then I realized, like, wait, I can just put Guardians of the Galaxy in 10 and talk about Star Wars as well. Yeah. Because again, I don't. Star Wars in terms of like visual effects is definitely a lot stronger than.
Oh yeah, definitely. Galaxy. My God, that fucking like spaceship crash at the end. I was entranced into the screen. Like you could hear a. Because like I mean like movie theaters are quiet anyway. Yeah. But quiet anyway. But when the fucking blues and whites contrasted into the crash of that spaceship, like it felt like the world didn't exist anymore. Yeah. It felt like nothing mattered except you like taking in every inch of the wonderful editing and visual style of that. And it makes me genuinely upset that Rian Johnson isn't returning for the next one. Because even if you're not a huge fan of Last Jedi, you can't deny that the fucking like objective filmmaking, fucking fantastic. Like just like a lot of interesting shots and like some stuff that's like never been seen. I guess like I can't imagine it was Rian Johnson doing, given like you watch the rest of the movie. I guess the only like problem I had with the editing was that they did like a bunch of swipe transitions.
Oh, that's definitely an old school Star Wars.
This is an old school Star Wars. Like it was really corny back then, but the movie was corny, so you could do that. It looked way out of place in like this much different type of movie.
And I have like a host of different problems with the movie. Yeah. that kept it off the list. But again, it's the type of movie that I have a lot to say about. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't call this a bad movie. Like, where do I have it? Like, yeah, I have it 14.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's just like if you were to make a top 15, which isn't that much bigger.
To be fair, there's only 15 there's only like 15 good movies I watched. Not to say that there's only 15 movies good out this year.
Yeah.
It was just that in terms of movies that like, okay, I like this movie.
Yeah.
It's like that's the point where like everything behind that is like it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I know. Where's that point with mine? Hang on. I think like for me.
Yeah, I keep that at Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Point for me is like where I'm thinking like, okay, this wasn't a bad movie.
I think for me it's it's Beauty and the Beast. I get the,
I got that like.
Well, okay. No. Okay, I guess like for movies when they stop being great, it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, and after that, it's like movies I didn't really like. But I think the movies don't get atrocious until Beauty and the Beast. Like,
oh no, my bad.
Which is 24 for me.
I meant like 18.
Oh, okay.
Because I watched a few movies, so I'm at 45. 18 is Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
So everything right after Wonder Woman, I have Wonder.
You saw that?
Yeah, it's corny as hell, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
I might talk about that one a little bit later,
but
in relation to another movie. But
yeah, Last Jedi, like I like again, like.
Wait, I forgot. I almost forgot that this was mine.
Yeah, no, this is my thing. But like,
no, we're still on mine.
No, we're still on mine. No, we skipped ahead of that.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, well, I mentioned that my number 9 was The Last Jedi.
Oh, I thought we were sort of talking in relation.
Oh.
At the same time.
Well, did you have more to say about Guardians?
There's only one thing I had to say, like in terms of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Is that it's the only Marvel movie that feels like they're on an adventure that has nothing to do with the fucking rest of the universe.
Oh yeah,
and I really appreciate that. Yeah. That's the only thing I wanted to say afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
Okay, but like that's Last Jedi again. Like hands down, best thing about the movie was Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah,
bringing one of his best performances to date. Like
next to Brigsby Bear. A movie that nobody knew he was in.
Another annoying thing that these virgin ass Star Wars fans are like they like to use like the fact that he didn't personally agree with the way the character was portrayed, which my friend had a hilarious like thing about it, like because he did say that he personally didn't agree with how he was told to portray the character of Luke Skywalker. And my friend was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure he's really upset about that really great and nuanced performance that he was like." But
like, dude, it's been like 35 years. You can't expect the character to be the same when he was 20.
I like how Movie Bob like had a good one where like I don't know why they're upset because Jedi have a history of making a mistake and fucking isolating themselves. Yoda did it. Yeah. Like Yoda did it. No one was mad when Yoda did it.
My biggest gripe with the Luke and Rey story arc is that Rey at this point of the movie is already powerful enough to where she really doesn't need to be trained. Because she can do like fucking lift rocks pretty easily. Yeah. She can do the fucking Jedi mind trick without knowing what it is. And she can fucking fight fantastically. So the whole part, it never really felt like she was a student of Luke. And Luke never really felt like a master.
It did really. I can see that. I think I like that a little more because like I like that dynamic because it was new. First off, I liked it much more about like she was like this person who was seeing Luke as more than he was. Yeah, like she was there to be trained by him, but all Luke really tried to do was bring her down. Yeah. Yeah. So like.
But the thing that kind of bothers me is that people don't acknowledge how fucking amazing she is. Yeah. Because I can understand because she's like people are like, oh my god, what am I gonna do now? Like I need to be like you don't need to be fucking trained. Like nobody's ever stated like, dude, you're fine without training.
Yeah. It's like you're good. You're okay.
Yeah. So it kind of feels like they want to have that angle. But she's too powerful.
I guess I can see that. I don't necessarily agree too much, but I can definitely see it. I think like Rey doesn't get enough credit. I feel like I guess someone could see her character is definitely overpowered, but I think like she's shown enough in who she is as a character to kind of justify it.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even necessarily think being overpowered is a bad thing. I don't think she's a bad character. I enjoy her character, but I just think if someone would tell her like, hey, you're powerful enough to where you don't need a master. You're powerful enough to go up against Kylo Ren. the way you are.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with that if somebody just told her like, yo, don't worry about it.
I love Kylo Ren in these movies too, dude. But I wanted to finish my point real quick. That like people are using the fact that Luke didn't agree with his character as a crutch to say that we should hate it. But my response to that is like, fucking the guy who played Obi-Wan hated Star Wars. Yeah. He thought it was the dumbest thing. Harrison Ford was fucking begging to get killed off the thing. Yeah. He said, I will not do the Star Wars movie unless you fucking kill me in it. Yeah. Like, that's the only way Harrison Ford was going to come back.
And that's the funniest thing is that people love fucking Harrison Ford. Yeah. Because I think you had mentioned that it's very like the original Star Wars was a very male power fantasy. Yeah, definitely. But here's the thing, that really didn't come from Luke, because Luke was just like this little kid who had to like actually train for everything that he earned. Yeah. All of that fucking male power fantasy came from Han Solo. Yeah. He's like fucking gambling gangsters, shooting people, getting girls.
Yeah, dude. Like,
so people love this Han Solo movie. Yeah. But don't like The Last Jedi. It's probably gonna be because of that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, do you watch Jenny Nicholson?
Oh, dude, I fucking love.
Yeah, yeah, dude. She said the same thing. Like, it's like a lot of people who hate The Last Jedi really like Rogue One, and I'm like, fuck, that's right, and I'm furious because Rogue One is garbage.
Oh, I hate Rogue One as much as you, but I did not like it.
Rogue One sucked. I despise. Like, I cannot fathom. Like, as someone who loves films, as someone who loves movies, I can't fathom how anybody would like Rogue One better than The Last Jedi.
My brother and his girlfriend like Rogue One. Yeah,
your brother and his girlfriend are stupid.
No, it's fine. It's because like you could tell that they really didn't agree with me. Yeah. Because I guess I sort of understand why. From what he was saying, it's like, oh yeah, people die, so like there's more emotional stake, because like main characters don't die in Star Wars movies. Yeah. Except for Harrison Ford. But I said I had said, well, I thought the main girl was kind of bland. Uh-huh. Which is something that I thought like when I was first watching, she was like, oh, it's kind of
also bland. A really bad actor.
And it's funny, like my brother's girlfriend, because like you could tell that they liked the movie. She's like, well, she's not as bad as Kristen Stewart. And I was like, dude, if Kristen Stewart was in the fucking Star Wars movie.
Fucking Bella Swan. She just plays Bella Swan.
Yeah, like the fucking, they're in the fucking Millennium Falcon. And like, oh my god, you can't light speed through the astral field? You'll be killed. Like, don't ever tell me the odds.
Yeah,
we're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Oh my god.
Luke, can you train me?
Oh, you're my. Oh my God, Harrison Ford's dying. Like what? Like, dude, his son just killed. That's crazy, right? Like, right?
But
like, I know what you are, Luke. I want you to save.
Yeah, I was saying, Jedi.
Like, dude, I would be there. Like, I'm going to watch Star Wars anyways. Star Wars. But like, dude, I would be so hyped.
I go broke. Like, I go broke.
Like, because I don't know. I feel like because we get a new Star Wars movie every year, my hype meter for the series has sort of gone down. Yeah. Which, if anything, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, because like you spend so much time like romanticizing it as like this legendary thing. So when new one's coming out, it's kind of forcing you to look at them objectively.
Yeah, and at the very least, The Force Awakens was justified hype because it's been so long.
Yeah, and Force Awakens was a good movie.
Like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it.
It was good. Like, it was good. It was good.
I think that's the thing, is that pretty much the newer Star Wars movies are not perfect. Yeah. But neither were the old ones.
Yeah, like none of the Star Wars movies are perfect. But it's definitely just a bunch of like old curmudgeons and like shitty entitled young people who like.
Dude, I want the next Star Wars movie, like the main title, the main series Star Wars movie to star in a space diner. Just to like fuck you to all the fans.
What was the name of the drug he was trying to sell? Like in the first one, he was all like, "Hey, want to get some whatever sticks?"
I don't remember.
Yeah, dude. Space diner.
Yeah, I fucking love the prequels too because that's my childhood. Except for the second one. I remember the second one being really boring, so even as a kid, I didn't like it.
They're all boring, dude. Like, they're all boring.
They're my childhood, though. So
yeah, I can.
I have the high ground, Anakin.
I have the high ground. Like, what does that mean?
I mean, I'll fucking slice you in half if you try to jump at me, bro. No, like I understand that they're objectively terrible movies.
Yeah, oh my god.
But they'll always have a special place in my heart. Just like these movies. These movies are infinitely better.
Yeah.
Like, did anybody request for the prequels to be removed from canon?
I don't think so. That's fucking garbage, dude. Just people being horrible.
Yeah.
One thing, the best part of this movie besides Mark Hamill had to be Kylo Ren. I adore what they're doing with Kylo Ren's character. Just a fucking, like, it's scary how not scary he is. Because he's just this petulant child that's like, oh, I'm tough. And they're like, no, you're not. And you fucking kill someone. You're like, oh shit, he's real. Like, he's not scary, but he's real, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's how I like to put it. And then you have, like, this cartoony-ass space Nazi in Hooks. Yeah. And they're children. Yeah. And they're in charge of the First Order. And it's just terrifying how you have these incompetent fuckwits in charge of entire space Nazis. And, like... It's just, they're just great. I love, like, he's irrational and he's full of nonsense and he's great.
I'm a little disappointed that I just want to see, like, cool adventures in the Star Wars universe, not necessarily like we're fighting an army.
I definitely could have been like something.
No, like after this whole First Order shit is over, that's what I want Star Wars to be like. Yeah. Just Rey and Finn going on fucking random adventures.
I would like to see it like a show. It'd be pretty cool. All right. So moving forward, what was your number 9, bro?
God damn, we spent a lot.
Yeah, dude, Star Wars. Dude, there's a lot to talk about.
We could have probably just done a whole podcast on.
Yeah, Star Wars. we should have. We didn't.
We'll get it all out here.
Yeah.
All right, another movie that I saw while we were on a break, John Wick 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hear a lot of good things about the John Wick movies, but I've just never seen any of them.
Do you know the premise of the first one?
I do not know the premise of the second one.
So what happens is, John Wick, his wife just died. He's pretty sad about it, but she left him a dog so that he can get over the grieving process, right?
Yeah.
So then these dudes rob him, they steal his car, and they shoot his dog.
Oh no.
So he's like, okay, I need to get out of retirement. Turns out he was a fucking hitman. In a world of assassins, he was like, everybody fucking knows him.
Yeah.
So he gets back and fucking kills tons of people just because they killed his dog.
That's amazing.
And for John Wick 2, it starts off, like he rolls up to the chop shop, right? Because he didn't get his car back in the first one.
Oh, what?
So, like, in the first one, he avenges his dog.
Yeah.
He gets a new dog. And then the second one, it starts off, he's fucking killing tons of people to get his car back.
Oh, my God.
Honestly, don't have a lot to say about this one, just that there was a lot of high, intense action. And the action scenes are fucking phenomenal. They were phenomenal in the first one. They're phenomenal in this one. You should definitely fucking check it out.
Yeah?
If you like action. And just like silly plots like, I'm killing someone because I killed my dog.
That sounds good. There's just...
I mean, that's the reason why it got so popular. Yeah. It's like even in the trailer of the first movie, it's like, it's not what you did, it's who you did it to.
And then like, it turned out it was a dog?
No, like he fucking killed the dog. Yeah. And then it's like, dude, it's like what happened? Like, dude, I just killed John Wick's dog, and it's like, you John Wick. you killed John Wick's dog, stole it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with John Wick? And the funny thing is that you don't get a whole lot of who John Wick is. You just, from other people talking him up, like, what, John Wick? Like, what the, you fucking killed, why did you kill John Wick's dog? Are you dumb? What's wrong with you?
Oh my God, that's fucking incredible.
And
too many movies have high stakes. You know what I mean?
The only problem with this movie is that it's sort of, like in the first one, it sort of hints at this assassin world that he used to be at.
Yeah.
But this one, it sort of goes deeper into it. It's just kind of filler.
Yeah.
Like it makes it less streamlined because the whole plot is just like, oh hey, you owe me a favor, so go kill my sister.
Oh, okay.
But they take fucking forever to like get that across. Oh. He's like, oh no, like you made the pact, and now you gotta do me a favor. Like, I don't want to do the pact. And then he goes to Al Pacino, like, dude, you did the pact. That means you have to do the favor. Like, oh god damn it. And so he goes back to the dude, like, fine, I made the pact. Like, I'm gonna have to kill your sister. Like, what do you want me to do? I'll kill your sister. Like, you want me to kill that girl? I'm just like, oh god, like, get to the fucking action, dude.
This is not what.
Yeah. And there's this fucking great scene. like there's a lot of cool shit in this movie other than like the little things that bog it down. But there's this cool fucking scene, where they're like this John Wick and this other assassin. They're walking, right? And John Wick's on the first floor, dude's on the second floor. They're just walking and fucking shooting each other like this. They just bring it up real quick and shooting in broad daylight. But that's another thing that sort of brings this movie down is that a lot of the actions, there's a lot of shit that happens in broad daylight, and nobody seems to give a shit. I mean, because in the first one, he's going to like very shady places, like fucking nightclubs and back alleyways and shit. So it makes sense that he's just fucking killing people and nobody cares. This one, he's like in the fucking middle of the street, offing people.
That's great. That sounds fun. Like movies, like
the first one is definitely a lot of fun. This one, it gets bogged down a little bit by trying to bring in more of his past, but it's still a good time.
Yeah, too many Hollywood movies, especially, have like too high stakes. There's not enough movies that are just about like things. Like
there's this fucking great video that Rocket Jump did.
Yeah.
So like it's like the trailer of John Wick, except if John Wick died and the dog had to go avenge him. You killed John Wick's dog's owner.
That's great.
I fucking love that about the first movie. Like, what, John Wick? You killed John Wick's dog? Like, what the fuck?
Like, what's wrong with you?
Like, John Wick. Like, yeah, John Wick.
Oh shit, John Wick. Like
John Wick's back. Like, well, fuck, John Wick's back. Why the fuck is John Wick back?
Like, what the fuck is John Wick doing, man?
Like, someone killed his dog. Like, someone killed John Wick's dog. What idiot would kill John Wick's dog?
Oh my god, that's great. Moving forward, my number 8. It is The Big Sick, by Kumail. You know what? I promise I respect these Indian men. Like, you know, I'm sorry. Kumail is Pakistani. Southern Asian men. That's what I use. That's what I've seen used. Their names are hard to remember.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If I had it in front of me, I can just look it up.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah. Way to fucking.
No, it's just because like I've heard him a lot because of The Big Sick.
Yeah, phenomenal movie.
He's a pretty good. I've seen him. He's the type of actor who I see in tons of shit, but I never remember his name.
Yeah.
But now I'll remember because he's fucking hilarious.
Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah, it's great. Okay, let me avenge myself then with the other one. Then now I know it. Okay, it's Hari Kondabolu. That's the guy who made The Problem with the Pooh. But yeah, like The Big Sick, phenomenal. Kumail he's a great actor. Much better than I thought because he got big off Silicon Valley, and he plays a very specific kind of character in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like he plays a very kind of awkward character.
Yeah, very awkward. He's still like very smart ass, but
he was in Central Intelligence.
Was he?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He was the dude whose lunch Kevin Hart stole.
Oh, it was.
Like, he plays that character in a lot of things that I've seen.
But yeah, so he still brought forth that character in The Big Sick because that's probably just who he is.
Yeah.
But he gets emotional in it. Like there's this great scene where he confronts his parents, and it was all like, why do we move to America if we're just gonna keep the same damn traditions?
Yeah.
Like the way he begs like the parents to respect him and like gets like it's just beautiful. I will admit like it's not super tightly written. Yeah. I think like there's a great divide between what the movie is before and after his girlfriend gets sick, and also like I got this is other film YouTuber you should watch. Strunch, what the fuck? I don't know. Like she. I'll look up her name while I'm talking about it, but she mentions like it's a little iffy because she couldn't help but mention that a lot of the white people got a lot of very in-depth moments into this movie. But a lot of the Southern Asian folk didn't. Like a lot of them, but and like it's hard to really dispute that because this was written by someone of that culture, and his intent was probably to criticize the silliness of that by not giving it too much attention and making it kind of the villain of the movie. But I read a really interesting article the other day that I won't get too into, but like. It's Hollywood loves Muslims when they're secular. So like it's weird. Why can't we have a just nice practicing Muslim character? Yeah. Like just a guy. He's a guy, normal guy. He's a practicing Muslim. we have a lot of people who are practicing religions that are just fine, but like
yeah.
But other than that, it was phenomenal. I loved all the characters in it. Bo Burnham was one, Bo Burnham, because there was times when they would show stand up.
Yeah.
And Bo Burnham had the best bit. That was like, and he was like, so I was telling my girlfriend that the universe is a large, empty place where everything is bigger than us. So I fucking forgot your birthday. Like, you're being selfish on a cosmic level right now. I love Bo Burnham. He's great. He's great.
I fucking love Bo Burnham too, man.
There was this great moment I wish they explored upon where like, because the big conflict of the movie is that like Kumail is in love with this white girl.
Yeah.
And all the while, his parents are still finding women for an arranged marriage. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the big reasons they break up is because she finds all the pictures of the women he's supposed to be like picking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like there's this one scene where there's this one girl, super stunning woman. Like honestly, like I get what the movie's about, but you picked the white girl over that? Like come on. Like come on. Like so like he says like this isn't going to happen. I'm sorry. It's what's best. And then the Muslim woman responds like I'm sick of people telling me what's best for me.
Damn.
Yeah, which was powerful. Because that whole concept of arranged marriages is all of that. I wish they would have explored that more. But no, we had to go see the white girl. But like, I don't want that to diminish how much I loved it. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was emotional. It was heartfelt. I remember being pissed off at the end. Because I didn't know it was based off a true story. Yeah, so like, at the end when like he's doing stand-up in New York. And then like, she's in like the stand. She's like in the crowd. She made her way from Chicago to New York to see him. And she had a callback joke.
Yeah.
To them, and they're like they smile at each other, and I'm like, "Fuck you! That doesn't happen in real life." And then it did, and I'm just like, "Fuck off!" I'm just lonely, man. But like,
that's funny.
Yeah, it is. But like some issues. It wasn't perfect, like all movies. But
God damn, man, I think you've seen a lot better movies than I have.
Oh, that's because I follow these circles and just like these really progressive movies and shit, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I just watch shittier movies in general.
Yeah, I mean,
because like if you take off my bottom 10, and I made a top worst 10 with those movies, I was still a pretty convincing top 10.
But yeah, Big Sick Man, highly recommend it. I made sure to buy it as soon as I could. I don't think I bought it on DVD, but I purchased it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a great movie, man. Like they had the white parents did a great job. The ones they got, they had this really cool one where like he was doing like, cause like the parents had like come to New York or Chicago or to be close to the daughter, so they started kind of staying with Kumail.
Yeah.
And they went to go see him do stand up, and in the middle of it, like there was this racist like douche yelling like racist stuff at him, and then the mom just loses her shit because she's drunk. Yeah. So she just fucking, it was all like, "What's wrong, you little dick bitch," or like whatever. And he gets into a fucking fight with the guy.
Damn.
And it was great. It was really good. Yeah. It's just phenomenal. See it if you want to feel good about life. Yeah. Okay, moving on. What is this? Your number 8?
Yeah. Like, oh man, going from that to my number 8, it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. What is it?
Number 8, probably a movie a lot of people haven't heard of, called Shot Caller.
I've not heard of Shot Caller. What is? I'm scared though. What is it about?
It's a movie that I saw at my brother's house in Austin, and I was surprised. It was pretty good because like this isn't really the type. This is kind of a gritty, more realistic movie.
Yeah.
And those aren't really the type that I'm into. But it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, you got this guy, right, and he's a rich dude.
Yeah.
And he like has a couple beers at like a sports bar and then him and his wife are driving home with their friends, right? And they get into a car crash, and his best friend dies, and because he was had a couple of drinks and he like ran a red light, they're like, "Dude, you're gonna go to prison, like you better take a plea deal, otherwise you're fucked." So he takes like a 4-year plea deal. He ends up being there for like a decade in prison.
Yeah.
And so the movie is about how he turns into a straight up gangster.
Yeah. And
like his journey from normalcy to just straight up gangster is intercut with like what he's doing in the present time when he's out of prison, like just straight up gangster shit.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a very interesting movie to see like this how a mistake that he made of just drinking a couple of beers, like I'm a little buzzed but I'm not super drunk, and how that turned into his whole life being destroyed.
Wow. This is indeed a big departure from like what things in particular also did you like? Because I cannot offer anything. I never even heard of this movie.
So there's a lot of for starters, when he goes into prison, dude, his lawyer tells him like, dude, they're gonna fuck you up in prison if you show any signs of weakness. So don't do that. And like they show like one of the guys who shows weakness gets fucking raped on the first day there.
Oh no.
So he's just like, all right, dude, I'm not gonna take shit from anybody. I don't want to, like, people can't see my fear.
Yeah.
So like he's just like fucking getting into fights with people. So and then he has to join a gang to be safe. Because they tell him like, dude, like you're gonna fucking get killed if you just keep like fucking fighting everybody. He's like, dude, I don't want to fight, but I'm not gonna take shit. Like, well, join our fucking gang then, and you won't have to like join our gang, and you're safe for the most part. So he has to fucking join a gang, and smuggle in drugs and shit. And the reason he gets like an extra fucking he ends up being there for like a fucking decade is because there's like a prison riot. And he fucking like jumps in, like fucking saves the dude from dying, but then they see his face of like he was like part of this fucking riot.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, dude, you're getting fucking like you're going for a decade, and then his wife sees a video of him like fucking being a part of this riot.
Yeah.
And he stabs the fucking dude, and then he's like, oh man, his son like starts going apart from him, and so does his wife. And once he gets out, it's like, I understand like his son still wants to be a part of his life, but he's saying like, dude, I'm a part of this gang now. I can't be a part of your life because then you're in danger. And so, in the end, he ends up getting back into prison on purpose. Like he botches the deal that he was doing in the present time. And so he goes back into prison and he fucking fights the boss and kills him.
So he just takes over the gang or what?
Yeah. So he tells like the guard like, yo, I'm the leader now. Like you'll get paid because he's like a corrupt guard, but like I'm the main dude now. You got a problem with that? Like he's like, nah. And I'm a little disappointed because they had a missed opportunity. Because I think instead of saying that, he should have said like, hey, I'm calling the shots now.
Wow, that was a real downer.
Yeah. It's very interesting though.
Yeah.
Like it's not a perfect movie, but in terms of movies that didn't get a lot of attention, I think this one definitely deserves a little bit more just of how interesting it is. And the only problem I really have with it is that there's like a time skip of like he's been in here for a decade, but it doesn't really feel like he's been in there for a decade.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But because it's kind of a short movie, but other than that, still really, I definitely recommend it.
Wow, that was a real downer, man. All right, moving forward. I guess I got another down. My number 7 is the polarizing It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night. Nice.
Yeah. And like honestly, like after what, like there's some movies that like people like, because again, like I'm not saying critics are always like correct or anything.
Yeah.
But sometimes I look at the critic to like, there's a specific kind of movie that generally has like the critic to audience ratio being like so askew.
Yeah.
But when it comes at night, like audiences hated it, critics loved it, and I watched it. And I'm like, God, the only way you could hate this movie is if you just hate movies in general. Because It Comes at Night is just so brilliant. But, like, it's so, like I don't want to sound pretentious, but, like, it's really subtle. Because it takes place in this post-apocalyptic time. Yeah. But it doesn't show any of that post-apocalyptic shit. Like, it's implied that shit went wrong, but there's no zombies. They don't show anyone, like, get infected and chase anything. It's like, okay... It's like they use a post-apocalyptic setting as a shorthand. They're like, how the fucking stories go. Yeah. You know how it works. There are zombies everywhere. They live in the woods. They scour for supplies. You know how that shit goes. Let's skip that. Let's get to the meat, which is like the characters. And like it's two lovely families that like have a misunderstanding, and that's all it is. Just a family meets another family. They coexist for a bit. It's nice. Pretty sure the son fucked the dude's wife. Like it's again subtle. There's very few things in this movie that are explicitly stated.
Yeah. Well, I think I can understand why audiences might not like it as much as critics do, because you have this post-apocalyptic backdrop, but it's really set like a very intimate, small movie.
Yeah.
So it's
short. My God. Like there's
the thing I was saying is that I can understand how an audience might see it as dry, as opposed to just subtle and nuanced.
Yeah.
And clever.
It is. It's very clever. Like there's a lot of cool shots. There's a lot you gather just from these interactions they have. That like for example, like there's this one scene where they're talking to each other, and and like he has one line where he says like, yeah, man, this thing happened with my brother, and he was like, you said you didn't have a brother. Like, oh, well, it was my brother-in-law, but he was like my brother. And they exchanged this look, and I'm like, oh, they're fucking done. Like, like it was just this fucking brilliant like bit of acting, like Joel Edgerton. It's amazing he did this the same year as Bright.
Yeah.
Like,
Bright was towards the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So like. So I think I saw Bright first. Yeah, so like I saw Bright, and it's like, I guess Joel Edgerton was among the better things about that movie if I had to give it credit.
Yeah.
But he's phenomenal in It Comes at Night.
Yeah.
Just a great movie, man. Like it's another one of those horror movies that works because it isn't bathed in horror movie like nonsense.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that's probably why audiences didn't
that's probably it. They're like it probably has to do with marketing, because I remember this movie being marketed as like a regular horror film, and it just is not that.
Yeah, I can and I feel like a lot of audiences, they really want that like immediate.
No. Oh yeah, like, they want to and
they want like immediate fear or immediate fun, and I understand that, but not if every move was like that, it'd be fucking boring and uninteresting.
Yeah, dude, just like
I guess a lot of people also can't really. Was it a slow paced movie or?
Yes, it did. It was slow paced, but it wasn't long.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. There's a difference between slow pacing and because in any movie, if you're a slow-paced movie, fast-paced, doesn't matter. If you can get wrapped up in the pace, you follow the flow of the movie, and it does that well through editing.
The movie did take its time. There was a lot of moments of just tension of a kid like walking through the hallway, and like just being like, oh my god, like, and you're invested because you don't know anything about the world, and everything you don't know, you're connecting the dots with, and like. Again, pretty sure the kid fucked the guy's wife. Like, I don't know. Okay, so there's this one scene because, like, it was just him and his mom and his dad.
How old is this kid?
17.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, it was really funny. So one thing I liked, interracial couple.
Nice.
Joel Edgerton, and his black wife. I wish I remember the black woman's name. I should take a... But Joel Edgerton and... what's his fucking wife? Was it... It appears to be Carmen Ejago, but like, so I didn't, honestly, I felt really bad because I thought they were like friends or something. Not register. I'm part of the problem. But so like he lives with his parents. He's treated as a kid, and suddenly like this new family arrives, and the dude has a wife. So this is probably the first time in a long time he's seen another woman that he wasn't related to. Yeah. So naturally he's like, and they have this one conversation that's like where like she's up and she's reminiscing about like not liking sweets or whatever, and they have this really awkward silence. She's like, "So how old are you?" She's like 17. Like, that was around the age I started too. And then she like walked away. And then there's a scene where she's like bent over like churning water out of a thing, and he's just looking at her, and I'm just like. They fucked. Like, because that's just so, like, visually, like, she's bent over churning at a thing to get water, and I'm like, I wonder what that fucking means. Yeah. Like, but again, never explicitly stated. And also later on, he ended up infected. Ooh. So, like, they kind of established that you need to do a little more than just touch something to get infected. So, pretty sure he fucked the lady.
And she was probably infected, too?
Yeah, and she was probably infected. But, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Like if you love film, you like at all, like as a medium of story. If you love visual media at all, like this movie's for you because it's just so like packed with things that are implied because of the way it's shot or the way or like things in subtext. And just I can't really fathom anyone not liking this unless you just like don't like. A lot of people were like, oh man, I like movies that are about stuff, you know. I'm like, well, like I like movies that are like cool, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not literally. Sorry, it's not Bright.
Sorry, it's not Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I know shit. Like, I'm sorry, they're not literally like, oh man, we're breaking down the fucking wall and burning down.
It's a magic wand.
It's a magic wand. Don't touch the wand.
Don't.
Alright, moving forward.
This is where the list gets very contentious.
Oh, okay.
And to be exciting from here on out.
Oh, okay, so this is your number 7, correct?
Yeah. My number 7 is Coco.
Oh, damn. I don't like how low that is.
Yeah.
But, okay.
So this is just this is Pixar. This is what Pixar does every year or so, or maybe every other year. Not recently, they just churn out a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, yo, here's the one good movie that you'll get until,
like 2 years from now.
Until we make Cars 4 and 5. Like, don't worry, Toy Story 4 is gonna suck, but you have Coco to tie you over until the next one.
They really aren't this like magical be all end all of movies anymore.
And honestly, that's probably I probably have more problem with the actual production, like everything around Coco than the actual movie.
Yeah.
Because like for one, the Frozen short.
Oh, awful.
Which is bullshit.
Did you finally get to see it?
I never saw it.
Oh, okay.
But just the idea of a 20-minute short.
Yeah, I sat through that shit, man. I had to. Have you since seen the English version?
Dude, I saw the superior Spanish dub with no 20-minute short. I watched the superior version. With it, and also trying to trademark Day of the Dead.
Oh yeah, that was really bad.
And it's just like, dude, Pixar, like you didn't need all this. You didn't need a crutch. You could tell from the trailer, like, okay, this is the one that's gonna win the Oscar.
Oh yeah, unquestionably. I don't know, dude. I think Boss Baby's gonna pull it out. But
dude, no, Ferdinand.
Oh yeah,
Ferdinand. I can't fucking say that.
Yeah, whatever.
But dude, it's got that thick fucking dance scene. Dude, how can it not win?
Oh my god.
Like, dude, it's a tough year for Coco, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I can definitely understand that.
But I mean, I think Coco was the movie where I had to accept, like, you know what? They're never gonna be that pushing the envelope of what's possible. They're just gonna make good movies, which is fine. I can accept that.
Yeah, like,
and this is a good movie.
Some companies don't even do that. Like, like it really is sad that like you used to like oh man, like
what are they gonna do next?
Yeah, like,
and it's like this movie. It was great. The songs were great. I love them. They sound weird in English. But that's just from a Mexican standpoint.
Yeah.
It's just weird having like I had a good time today.
Yeah. You're like,
un poco loco.
Where should I put my shoes, mi amor, mi amor?
You say put it on your head, mi amor. Like, it just, like, I'm pretty sure they wrote it in Spanish first and then translated it because it just sounds so natural.
Yeah.
Like I could, like if I heard that song on the radio, like the English version, I'm like, what the fuck is this from? But if I hear the Spanish version, I want to question it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially Un Poco Loco sounds much better in Spanish. Like other songs, not so much. Like I think like Remember Me sounds fine. Like I mean El Cuérdame is still like great.
Recuérdame.
Yeah, and like. And I think like El Mundo es mi familia is works just fine in English too. But I definitely agree with you.
That's the thing is like they're fine. Yeah. But like when you hear it in Spanish, it's like dude,
it's just better.
Like fuck, let it go. Yeah. Dude. I want to hear this shit.
Oh yeah, dude. Whenever like one of the big moments I cried on was like when Hector sang "Remember Me" to himself. And like my friend bought I downloaded the soundtrack and my friend bought it. Yeah. And like I didn't realize how much I hated De La Cruz version of "Remember Me."
Yeah.
And like it's just so fucking jarring hearing his version and just like you destroyed this song.
Yeah.
Like the point is that it's shitty. Like yeah, like and people love it and it's kind of a commentary on music, you know?
Yeah.
Like but
and like yeah, I mean I love I think I mentioned in our podcast how like when the aunt or like the great aunt was like getting mad at him, I should just like in my head, I could just hear her say "pinche pedazo."
Yeah, like just definitely.
Because again, it just sounds so. It just felt so real that I can imagine her just like.
Yeah.
Pinche pedazo.
That's how you know good dialogue in kids is like when the swear words will just fit seamlessly. That's how I feel about the Proud Family. I think I mentioned this before. But like the Proud Family's like dialogue, the Proud Family's dialogue is so good. You can fit the N word anywhere in there. Like you're just waiting for Sticky or just to just drop an N bomb and it would fit and you'd be okay with it.
Cabron.
Yeah. I definitely get it. Like it really does suck that Pixar isn't like every movie's game changing. Yeah,
and that's just something that I needed to accept.
Yeah, it's just like
it's something that like okay, maybe I shouldn't be because again I had a real problem this year with expectations being shattered.
Yeah.
Because this one, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Your Name, they were just so high up that when I actually saw it, like I couldn't really appreciate it to its fullest. And when I saw Coco, I really could sort of predict how the motions are going to go. It just does those motions so well that at the end of the day, I really don't care too much.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it, but like that's why it's a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm. All right, I can get that. Well, we'll see. We'll discuss it more when we get to mine.
Oh, yeah. I know you got this one higher up.
Yeah. We'll move on. Number 6, Colossal, starring Anne Hathaway.
I did not see that movie.
Yeah, it's great. It's really like... This shit's high concept.
Yeah.
So, like, what this movie is about is it's about Anne Hathaway, who recently got dumped by her British boyfriend. Mm-hmm. So she goes to her hometown to live in her old house, I guess.
Yeah.
And then she discovers that every time she walks in this particular spot, a fucking gigantic monster appears in South Korea. And as long as she is in that spot, she will control that monster in South Korea.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then there's this other guy, an old childhood friend of ours, played by Jason Alexander, I believe. Jason Sudeikis, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck is Jason Alexander?
He's George from Seinfeld.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's Jason Sudeikis. And he also... And when he steps into this similar area, he turns into a giant robot in the same place as in South Korea.
Fuck?
Yeah. And they're the only two people that can do that. And the reason for that is apparently because like they got struck by lightning. I guess the reason doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
But it becomes this really interesting story of
nothing that they do is really gonna make that make sense.
Yeah. But they turned it into this really excellent story about male entitlement, and because what it is like the Jason Sudeikis plays this horrible fuckboy, who's just like he's like really nice and he gives the girl a job, and then in the midst of it, like while drunk, she sleeps with one of his friends.
Yeah.
But there was nothing between them. But out of nowhere, he gets really like pissy about it, in like this super annoyingly entitled way.
Yeah.
And when he discovers that he has this like. This thing over her, he starts like abusing it. So he starts like emotionally abusing her, where like, man, it's your fault this is happening, and he's like abusing his power by doing like horrible shit, knowing that because if she leaves him, he'll like destroy this whole fucking South Korean city. So it's like this metaphor for she has literally the weight of the world on her back because of this one man blackmailing her, and then blackmailing her, and also just equally, she has just as much power as like him, but he's like emotionally manipulating her in a way that's not fair. Yeah. So like it's this big thing, and she overcomes it, in this beautiful way by heading over to South Korea herself, and she assumes correctly somehow that if she stands in this right exact spot in South Korea, the monster will appear in the other area. Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's stupid, but it represents, like, her, like, using her power to overcome. Yeah. Yeah, and then, like, it's a wonderful moment, like, where she, like, uses her monster to lift it up, and he's, like, he's like screaming like just I'm sorry, and you feel like, is he sorry? And he was all like, I said I'm sorry, you bitch. Yeah. And it's like, okay, yep, fucking tosses him across the mountains.
Jeez.
He's dead. No, Jason Sudeikis deserved it. Jason Sudeikis was so good in this movie. I fucking hate Jason Sudeikis now. Like, if I see him in anything, I hate him. I hate his stupid face. Because he was just so detestable in this movie. He was phenomenal. Anne Hathaway was great, too. She's phenomenal. She's a great actress. And I think she really bring it in this movie, too, being like this really immature drunk. Which she's so
she can like destroy shit as the monster, but she can't really walk too far.
Yeah, she's only allowed to stay in the parameter. In the movie, it's a little playground. Like, so when she steps onto the playground, it's Seoul, I think, Seoul or whatever. It's a very specific South Korean city. I don't know.
So it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she only has like the range of the playground.
Yeah, she only has the range of the playground. There's this one scene where they fight and it's really silly, where they're like. They're standing like eye to eye, and like fucking like staring at each other. And in South Korea they're giant monsters, but here they're a bunch of drunken idiots just fucking fighting. And it really builds up because initially he's like, he doesn't hit the girl, he doesn't hit the woman or anything. But at the end, like he's fucking pounding her, man.
So they're like straight up fighting.
Yeah, they straight up fight like towards the end. There's this really good like moment like in the shot where like they fight and he like punches her in the gut and she falls down. And she's like, just letting you know, you can leave if you want, but if you do leave, this has happened. So they show him, like, they have this shot of, like, Anne Hathaway on the floor, like, gasping for air because she just got punched in the gut. And then out of nowhere, his fucking foot just, like, launches right in front of her face. And, like, it looks silly, but he's just, and, like, the entire time he's stomping on the sidewalk, you hear the screams of South Korea.
Oh, shit.
And it's a super effective shot, dude. Like, Klaus is phenomenal. I can't recommend Klaus enough. Anne Hathaway's great in it, and definitely like a major selling point of the movie. Jason Sudeikis is fantastic. This company, which one is it? Hang on. Let me just check real quick. It's Neon something. I think it's Bright Lights Pictures. Is it? Yeah. Well, I think this particular studio has been Neon. It's just called Neon, hitting it out of the park. Like the Neon company has been consistently making some of the finest films I've ever seen. I have 2 Neon films on this thing, and I'm sure you know the other one if you're familiar with Neon.
I'm not.
Yeah, but like if you're watching this and you're familiar with Neon, you know the other one. But they consistently make these very character-driven, interesting movies.
Yeah.
And I can't recommend. I need to see more. The other one they made is I, Tonya. And I heard a lot of good things about that one.
I heard about that one.
Yeah. And these other ones look good too. I just need to see more. It's great. So moving forward, what's your number 6?
All right, my number 6 is Captain Underpants. The first movie.
Oh man, we're on different wavelengths when it comes to we'll get.
We really are, dude.
Yeah.
And which is good because like generally in the top 10 worst list, we're definitely
in sync. Yeah, we were in sync in the top 10. Well, because we saw a lot of the bad movies together.
But not only that, it's just like even like the movie that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like I'll say something like "Welcome to the Jungle." You're like, "Oh, I already know."
I get it. Like, yeah.
Or like you can tell okay, I sort of know where he's going with this. Yeah. But this one, top 10 best, is definitely all over the map.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh fuck.
It's okay.
It's just my phone. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So where Coco, everything is just, it's a good movie, but the animation especially is just very safe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Captain Underpants, on the other hand, is just fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, dude,
You have so many different art styles. You got fucking sock puppets. You got Flipperama.
Yeah, and dude, honestly, I never thought Captain Underpants Oscar snub, man. Like, it definitely deserved it more.
There's so many solid animated movies that got snubbed. I mean, you have Captain Underpants, the Lego Batman movie, Batman and Two-Face.
Yeah.
My Little Pony wasn't a fantastic movie, but definitely deserved it more than
I think, like, just...
Ferdinand.
Honestly, like, as long as, like, as if they're just more visually striking. Like, honestly, like, how anyone could look at Ferdinand and think, like, oh, that's some animation excellence.
Well, what I heard is that the animated category this year, usually it's just the voting is just restricted to like straight actual animators. Oh. But then they open it up to like more people.
Oh, really?
And like they don't respect animation.
Yeah, it's true.
So like, oh, animations for kids. Let's just pick the most kid-friendly movies: Boss Baby and Ferdinand. Which, to be fair, this is Ferdinand is a perfectly fine children's movie, but it's nothing special.
And honestly, like
Captain Underpants.
I'm more mad about Ferdinand than the Boss Baby, because honestly, like the Boss Baby is a collection of really good shorts that was forced to be a movie. Because like honestly, like if you stop Boss Baby 20 minutes in, you're chill. Yeah. Like Boss Baby, like the way he uses.
They should play the Boss Baby in front of Coco instead of
yes,
like the whole Boss Baby. Movie.
Yeah. That would have been great. But yeah, dude, like Captain Underpants. I saw Captain Underpants in theaters twice. Both times I went with people like you. Yeah. And I went with my dad. Both of you, not Captain Underpants fans.
It's weird because even as a kid, just the cover, I was like, dude, that's childish. Yeah. Even as a kid.
So I saw this movie with two completely different people that were not Captain Underpants fan, and they both ended up liking it. My dad liked it. Yeah. Like, and
it's just, again, also, I think it's the thing of animation sort of falls into two categories, like the Pixar masterpieces or Pixar Disney masterpieces, and the schlock. Yeah. That everyone gets, and it's just nice to get a movie that's just straight in the middle, that it's not necessarily going for anything great, but just had so much love and care put into it that, you know, it just made a fucking fantastic movie.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely like, it's genuinely funny. It was creative. Yeah,
one of the first movies in a long time that I actually liked Kevin Hart in.
I know. I think it might be the only movie because I mean I liked Central Intelligence. Yeah. I'm not gonna act like Kevin Hart was the reason for that. Like, I think it's the only movie.
If anything, I like Kumail Nanjiani in the Central Intelligence more than I like Kevin Hart.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Kevin Hart that was the best part of that movie. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I was surprised, like, because usually Kevin Hart shows up and he's Kevin Hart, and like, I mean, like, and even in the animated movies he's done, like, he was in like. In The Secret Life of Pets. Oh yeah. Even he's been in animated movies where you're like, that's just Kevin Hart doing a dumb voice. Like, nah, he came to work in like Captain Underpants. He acted in that one. And
even what was it, the guy who plays the white kid?
Thomas Middleditch.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know him. Like he does fucking great. Ed Helms does great.
Oh, Ed Helms is the MVP of this movie.
I haven't seen a good Ed Helms film since like the first Hangover movie.
Yeah, and Jordan Peele.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, you don't even. Like, I rewatched it because it's on Netflix now, so I watched it again. Like there's just no feasible way you can tell that's Jordan Peele.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he just sounds like a nerdy white kid.
Yeah, like, and someone has to stick up for the man. Like, no one has to stick up for the man.
Yeah, they're the man.
Yeah, like it's the man.
Yeah, they also do great. A lot of goofy shit, like when they walk into school with the song "Bow Bow."
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
It's like, dude, if I made a movie, I would put that, like, a sequence like that.
That'd be the only song on the soundtrack.
Just like, so.
And, like, honestly, it didn't fall into the trappings of a lot of kids' movies do. I think the best scene, objectively, in the movie for me is the one where they return, like, Krupp to his house. Yeah. And they want to illustrate that he's a lonely guy. But they do so without crushing the tone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's just very funny.
Yeah, like, it's funny, but underneath it all, it's like you get it. Because another movie would have been like...
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, another movie would have been like put on the sad music and they're like, wow, I didn't realize Krupp was so alone. Like, man, we should respect him more. And like that's like, but they're just like, no, we're gonna fucking snoop around this guy's personal property, and they do, and they're like, dude, this is sad.
And it's funny because of their reaction.
Yeah, it's funny, but like you also like he's sad, man.
Yeah, like there's no need for what was it, the second act low point.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's no need for like, oh no, we're breaking up. Yeah, like we had an argument. Like no, like they didn't need that. A lot of comedies, in my opinion, don't need that. They just put it in there just to be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're a movie. Don't forget we're an actual movie.
Yeah, like y'all, the conflict, guys. Ooh, like are they gonna do it? Of course they are. Yeah. Like the movie was like honestly, like the movie was entirely about them overcompensating for their lack of stakes. like just. I like movies with no stakes. Like I'm so sick of like every movie being dependent on something. Like
or I guess even if if you're gonna have stakes, like don't force stakes into a movie that doesn't need it. Because like a lot of comedies don't necessarily need that second act low point or need a certain level of stakes to be fun.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And this movie really didn't need that. It just had enough stakes to keep the plot going forward.
I'm gonna just my second favorite joke. I'm gonna say the first favorite joke when we get to my entry.
Well, let me say my favorite joke is like when they get sugar and then like I forgot what was the name of them, Gerald and
George and Harold.
George and Harold. Yeah. Harold, when he's like, "This is a terrible idea." I'm like, dude, that's such a great shot. And he's just like, it's like he's freaking out.
Yeah, he's like, "This is a terrible idea. It's helped nothing." Like, my second favorite joke is when they're in the treehouse and he's like, "We've created such great comics like Wicked Wedgie Woman, and let's not forget about Sad Worm. It's a worm that's sad. We're working on that one." It's just.
It's like I like him to flip around. Like, and then dolphins show up. Like, dude, like, what's your problem? Like, why do you keep bringing up dolphins? Like, what? I like dolphins. You got problems? Like, no, I'm saying.
Yeah. It was all, or there's all, "I could pee in my underwear and no one would care." Like, do you do that? Like, no, I'm just saying you could. No one really.
And I think it also brought up the sock puppet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was fantastic.
Yeah. And he was like, "We're gonna run into each other awkwardly at the mall." And he's like, "And it's in the future, so it obviously leads to robots." He's like, "Are they supposed to be friends?" And he was like, "I don't know. You're the writers. I don't know. You're the writer."
Yeah. Again, and I did not ever read the books.
Yeah.
So I had no nostalgic attachment to Captain Underpants. It was still a great movie.
Yeah. And someone who does have nostalgic attachment to it, I was able to enjoy it more because there was a lot of cool Easter eggs in there. A lot of very specific ones too. Like it wasn't just look, there's a thing right there. They reuse because like the movie's plot is comprised of like maybe a combination of like 3 to 4 books.
Yeah.
Like it has like the first one and the second one. Like it's easy like 3 to 4 of them, and like they I think like one of like the book that Professor Poopy Pants is originally from, his original plight was that he took over the world and he created one of those like Facebook style like first initial, last initial, the first initial of your first name, last initial of your last name or something like that things, and it was to make everyone's name silly, and so no one would laugh at his name anymore. Mm-hmm. So the names like the book did this really clever thing for when he took over, all of the characters' names became that. So like they changed it, and the names they used in the movie were the ones they got in the book. Yeah. So he was all like, I wish I had a hilarious name. Like, what if my name was Cheese Puff Waffle Fanny? And like that was his name in the book. Like that's really fun. Or like that thing where they accidentally shoot his hand and it makes it big. That was also from the book. It was just cool, man. It was just great. Yeah. It was great.
It's just a movie that pretty much anyone can appreciate.
Yeah, like if you like animation and comedy, like don't let the premise like if you never read anything
like if anybody would tell me like this is the best kids movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like that was like specifically targeted to children that wasn't trying to be super emotional like Pixar or Disney. And not to say that those aren't good movies. It's just that it's nice that we got something different. It's nice that we got something fresh.
Yeah, dude, it was great. I hope we get like hopefully it reached like at least a cult classic enough to where like a cult following enough for us to get some sort of sequel.
I mean, I think I heard like it was a lot easier to do because the designs were so simple. Yeah. So maybe they made their money back. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Or at the very least, like a lot of Pixar movies get cartoons on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
I've been dreaming forever for a series about Captain Underpants. I think that would work great. Yeah. Just the day-to-day lives of them. But moving forward, my number 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. We're gonna top 5. These are the movies that we adored.
Yeah. This is the main reason that. Captain Underpants should have been in 5, but that's what I'm saying. Like, man, like these top 5 are so good that I just had to reserve it for right outside of that.
So my number 5 is Girls Trip.
Girls Trip. I heard not a lot about it.
Yeah.
I just heard that some people liked it, some people are on the fence. Like Andre Black Nerd did a funny bit where he's like,
"Yeah, I know what you're talking about."
Rough Night, the white version of Girls Trip. Like, oh, you thought Girls Trip was the white version or the black version of.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
nope.
Yeah. Check the box office result. He said it with a lot of stank too. Like I was like, I'd never been more attracted to Black Nerd, and then in that moment, he's like, check the box office results, and you're like, whoa, nerd, you.
I just came in my pants.
Yeah, I'm like, my God. But like Girl Trip is like not by no means really perfect, but like just like I had to give it all the credit in the world for like doing this like raunchy mainstream comedy correctly.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, like it just.
That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, like so many fucking comedies like just get it wrong.
Honestly, the only one that I can think of is Hangover.
Yeah. And even then, they didn't keep it up. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The first Hangover.
Yeah, like Girls Trip was just so like well put together and full of heart.
Yeah.
And which is a lot of comedies lack. And and again, it's gross, but they take a time to establish their characters.
Yeah.
To where the grossness comes for a reason. Like, yeah, there's this really sassy black lady. And she's outside like, do not stay at that hotel. They is haunted. There was a ghost and it tried to fuck me. And it's like, and I'm like, you see, in a lesser movie, that would have been cringeworthy. But we established that this girl, this woman, is exceptionally like weird like that and gross like that.
Yeah.
Like, there was this, like, they characterized her in the beginning because they show in the beginning like how they were friends in college. And there's this like one scene where she's like walking out of a health clinic, and she's like, guys, it's just chlamydia. And then, and they're like, yeah. So they characterize like, okay, she's an uber like party, super raunchy girl. They establish like Queen Latifah's character, like 2 degrees in journalism, and she's downtrodden on her luck, and she runs this like gossip blog.
Yeah.
So so she has a reason to like be like the uppity one. But also, like...
Oh, so they don't just throw you in there.
Yeah, they don't
like most comedies.
Yeah, most comedies, like, these are your characters.
Most comedies will give you, like, a line or two or just, like, 5 minutes of, like, Queen Latifah at her job. Like, oh, no, I gotta go.
Yeah, he was like, I'm on the phone. But listen to me discuss the things I do at my job so you know what I do at my job.
Oh, did you ever see, like, Taxi with Queen Latifah?
Oh, that's a bad movie.
I was just reminded of, like, this whole scene where, like, they do, like, this bike.
Yeah.
And there's, like, someone who's, like, I don't know, like, 120 pounds on the bike. And then they just cut to Queen Latifah, and, like, that was not her. Stuff.
There's... My favorite one in that scene is when, like, at the end, when the chicks lose their minds, they're just firing the gun. Queen Latifah's like, the bitch shot me. And it's like, you don't sound like you got shot, girl. Like, come on. Like, but yeah, like, Tiffany Haddish, I think was the name of the slutty one. I don't remember their name. Let me see. That's also the thing. Like, all of the women, like, did a really good job. Like, Regina Hall's character was great. Queen Latifah was good. Jada Pinkett. Like, the main characters were Regina Hall, Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Tiffany Haddish. All phenomenal, funny women. Mm-hmm. They all had great chemistry together. You bought them as like since college girlfriends.
Yeah.
And they all had their own personality. Like Regina Hall was like the successful one. Queen Latifah was the smart one that was kind of down on her luck. Jada Pinkett Smith was like the uptight one that, as they put it, needed some dick. She's
because I saw the trailer. I think to a Girls Trip.
Yeah,
I could very see like because I've seen so many bad comedies, I could already see like where it was gonna go wrong or where I was gonna enjoy it.
But no, they fleshed out their characters, and like they weren't like one note. That wasn't it. And even like they were like some like comedy archetypes, but they gave like reasons why they are that, and they added more to it. Yeah, and it made them like characters, and they all had rapport, and they all interacted with each other differently. Mm-hmm. And in the end, it was just super heartfelt. I mean, it was a little silly. Yeah. It was a little silly. So like the entire time, Regina Hall's character, Ryan, has his husband, and she built like her entire brand off the fact like, oh, I can have it all. Yeah, like, I can have a successful career and have a loving husband. And the entire time, the husband's like a fuckboy who's like cheating on her, and they're just keeping it up for the brand. Uh-huh. And like at the end, she like mentions like, "Yo, you don't need to let like men define you," and it's this really heartwarming moment. Yeah. That, like, and just like, and it was silly at the end when like, because they were going for this big advertising deal, and they're like, "Yo, that evil corporation, they saw the beauty in you as an individual, and I'm like, that doesn't happen. Like,
yeah, was the company called Wicked without an eye?
No, but it's funny. But it was just an all around, like, not a lot, like, the jokes, not all the jokes landed. Yeah. There was some gross out stuff that was a victim of it being a Hollywood movie, that I didn't particularly care for.
Yeah.
But it was a fun, just genuinely, like, it was a genuinely fun romp.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, like, they had put P. Diddy in it.
Yeah.
Pete, like, and that was good. They got some cool musical acts for it. Kate Walsh was really funny in it. Kate Walsh played this kind of like really culturally tone deaf individual who's all like, "What's up, girlfriend?" And they're like, "No, you can't, you can't say that." And she's like, "Why not? I want to be your friend." Like, okay, you can be our friend. Just don't be fucking weird, like, about it. And they're like, okay, I got you. Like, hey, girl, and she just won't stop. And it's funny. It's just good, man. It was just pleasantly surprising how good it was.
Can I have another water?
Go for it.
My mom's okay. Well, yeah, I can, because based on the trailer, it very much did look like just another lackluster comedy.
Yeah, and it just wasn't.
It's just like, yeah, that's all you really need in order to create something that's good. It's just like, hey, make us care about these characters.
Yeah, just fleshed out characters, people you care about, like conflicts that matter, like. And it just made it funny. I find that a lot of the things in like comedy, because I don't think my sense of humor is like super highbrow. I think a lot of the things in most like of today's comedies could be funny if you just attach some character to it.
A lot of them just feel manufactured.
Yeah.
And this one, even though following a similar plot to a lot of different ones, feels genuine because they took the time to set up these characters in a natural way.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's all I really need. Like, give us characters we care about, and pretty much almost anything they'll say will be funny because you care about them.
Because comedy is very subjective. Because like, Chips is one of the worst movies. That a lot of people put on their list, and I couldn't help but just laugh at the dumb shit.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who keep pointing to this one scene where Dax Shepard and Michael Benya are talking about eating ass. And it's like Michael Benya's like, yeah, I ate her ass, bro. Like, what, you ate her ass? Dude, everybody's ass out here. Like, you just don't know because you're married. I was like, dude, like, people like, dude, look how dumb this conversation is. Like, dude, I know that it's really dumb and childish, but I can't help but fucking laugh at it. I don't know.
It is very subjective, but I think like...
But like, yeah, I understand there's different reasons. Yeah. That's why I didn't put Chips on my bottom list.
It's the same reason I didn't put The House on my bottom list.
Because I can acknowledge that it's a bad movie, but it did get me a couple of times.
I guess like that kind of stuff is what makes wholly the difference of what's good, what's funny, and what's a good movie.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, in any shitty comedy, there's bound to be something in there that makes you laugh. Because if I'm sitting here trying to make you laugh for an hour and a half, I'm bound to get you once. Yeah. Like, just statistically. But like, yeah.
Looks like my thumb is my cock.
He's like, my thumb is my cock. Dude, that was our favorite thing in the world when we were in high school.
I don't know. Yeah, dude, fucking Pineapple Express. Yeah. Watch that shit so many times.
Yeah, we watched Pineapple Express constantly as high school kids. But
fucking adore that movie, dude.
You should watch it and do it.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like the thing like The House or like that or Chips or anything like that. Like, it's bound to make you laugh once because it's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And statistically, if you're trying for an hour and a half to be funny, something's about to land. But like, good comedy is like what sticks with you afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, does it stick with you? Did it make you laugh because you cared?
Yeah.
Like it's easy. I can like make a silly face at you and make you laugh, but you're not gonna remember it tomorrow. Like, what separates decent comedy from great comedy is how it affects you later, and how much it like. And I think like Girls Trip had me thinking, like not super hard. Again, it was still like corny towards the end.
Yeah.
But I still left Girls Trip like feeling good, and thinking about what I saw more than I do most comedies.
I guess the question is, would you want a sequel with these characters?
Yeah, that's the thing. You want to see them again, like doing something else.
Because like Bad Moms, not the worst movie I've ever seen ever. But after I saw it, I had no desire to see a sequel.
Yeah.
Like, it's over. It's done. Stop it.
So I'm not dying to see these characters again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, also like it's just nice. Like I saw a podcast about it. They're fantastic people. They're more popular than us. The Bechdel cast.
Yeah.
Two lovely women. They did two lovely women. They have guests. And they discuss movies like from perspectives of women and how they treat them and the Bechdel test and such.
Yeah.
And it's just so unoften that you get this much representation of not just people of color, but and not just women, but women of this age. They're all like in their late 30s to 40s. So like it's just a lot of great representation happening all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just good. It's fun. It's great.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward. What is your number 5?
Oh man, my number 5, man. This gives me hope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's not a hopeful movie. It's very fucking depressing.
Yeah.
But the story behind it is just so inspiring because this movie is an unironically good film by the master of terrible films, M. Night Shyamalan. This movie is Split.
Oh man. I did not see it.
Dude, here's the thing. This movie had everything going against it. You got M. Night Shyamalan as the director. Yeah. You've got him dealing with mental illness, dealing with molestation. And, like, at any point in time, this movie could have gone so fucking bad. And it just didn't. It's just a fucking solid thriller movie, dude. Yeah. So, I think partially is due to the main actor, James McAvoy. Yeah. Does a fucking phenomenal performance. Yeah. Because he has to play this character who has multiple personalities. Yeah. And here's the thing, the trailer made it seem like it was really fucking dumb because, like, 23 personalities. Like, oh man, like, this 23 personalities is crazy. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking retarded. It's way too many. But we only see, like, a few. Oh, okay. So it's like, honestly, I don't even know why they had 23 to begin with. They just chopped it down to like maybe 7 or 8.
I think
it would have been a little bit more. It would have seemed less ridiculous.
I think maybe like it was supposed to hammer in like, oh, we're not even getting a full grasp of who he is. I guess I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But it sounds like they're trying to like you only see a handful, so it's like part of what makes him kind of scary is you don't know what else is there.
Well, no, here's the thing: like they made it seem like pretty much the bad. The few ones that we do see are like the ones that took over, and the other ones are just kind of okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but like he does such a good job at playing just these few characters. So he's got like the OCD character, where like he's just walking around in this girl's office, because the other personalities try to reach out for help, and like. He's pretending to be someone else, but like he's just like fucking messing with shit, and like just like messing because he can't help himself because he's OCD, and he also plays a woman too, and just the way he changes, like he doesn't make like a girl voice like oh I'm a woman now, which is very very slight change in tone that makes it seem like oh man like I believe that this person is a woman. And then the best fucking part is when he's playing a little kid. Yeah. It's fucking hilarious because, like, he's a little kid. He's like, oh, hi, my name's Hedwig. like, you try... And the girl's, like, trying to get him to, like, let him out because he kidnaps, like, 3 girls. And one of them's, like, real smart. She like, works... I'll get back to her, but she's trying to, like, get the little kid to get him to escape. He's like, you trying to trick me, etc.? It's like he keeps using etc., but he's a little kid, so he doesn't know what it means. Oh. So he's like, oh man, like, I was so scared and etc. It's just so fucking...
So it's like a little kid, like he heard a word used a certain way and he's assuming it?
Yeah, and just he keeps... It's like, dude, it's just like so... It's so fucking funny, dude. He's like, oh yeah, like I got music in my room, like Kanye, he's my main man. And he's fucking dancing and shit. Like, yeah, you believe that this dude's a little kid. And you got M. Night Shyamalan. He does a cameo, but he doesn't do like that shitty thing where he makes himself all self-important. Yeah. He does the cameo where like if you don't know who M. Night Shyamalan is, you could easily miss him. And
he does put himself in his movies a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, like when you do it right, like it's not really a problem in this movie because again, it's just so like it's a little thing where like if you see him. It's like, oh, hey, that's M. Night Shyamalan. Because I didn't even fucking realize it was M. Night Shyamalan the first time I watched this movie. because it's like, oh wow, that is because like in something like Signs, which I enjoyed, he made himself a very key part of that movie.
Yeah. I was about to say I haven't seen Signs in forever, but I'm not gonna watch Signs. There's Mel Gibson in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Signs again.
And like one of the girls he kidnaps, like she was molested as a child, but like they don't really. The way they reveal it through flashbacks, and over time you sort of realize that, oh wow, this is what's happening, but it never felt like it probably wasn't like the best depiction of that type of abuse.
Yeah.
But it was done, I guess, tastefully enough to where I don't think I would be. It wasn't insulting.
I think I've heard a few people disagree, and that's mainly what I've heard about the movie. But I would need to see it for myself to make up my mind.
Yeah, like I was saying, like it wasn't. It's kind of hard to tell because I don't really watch a lot of movies that portray this.
Yeah.
But I feel like it could have been worse, especially with the director like M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh yeah.
And the crazy thing that they do is that her father dies because she's being molested by her uncle, and then her uncle starts to fucking take care of her.
Oh, okay. I definitely can see how that could be interpreted as gratuitous. Yeah, but I would need to see it again. So he like continues molesting her.
I don't know if he can. It doesn't really show that in the. That's like sort of where the flashbacks sort of stop, but you sort of understand like whether. Like, she's still being abused, probably, even when she's, like, older. But, like, here's the thing. Like, I feel like that's a very realistic... Not necessarily realistic, but it's a little more grounded. Like, most of the times, like, you... in a type of movie that would be, like, portraying this thing, you could sort of see, like, somebody finds out and, like, oh, my God, they get retribution for her. Like, she never gets retribution. At the end, they're like... hey, your uncle's here to pick you up. And she gives, like, the police officer kind of, like, a look. Like, I really don't want to go with this man. So you kind of see, like, this experience of being with, being trapped and being, forced to, like, work her way out.
Yeah.
She's, like, she sort of, I guess, realized, like, I don't have to be in this situation anymore.
Yeah.
And, oh, man. Like, I can understand why people, because
I know. I was like, again, we're big fans of Lindsay. I know she did not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it. I've seen most people like it though.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that I can understand why somebody wouldn't like it because I'm not very experienced with this type of like, especially with mental and sexual abuse.
Yeah.
I'm not very used to dealing with these types of topics in movies because that's just not the type of movies that I watch. But from a director like M. Night Shyamalan, who has dropped the ball so many goddamn times, it's just very inspiring that he could create something of this level where a majority of the people can look at it and say, like, this is a pretty solid movie.
Which is good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. He fucking does he fucking sets up a universe, like a Marvel universe at the end, because they're like, oh man, at the end, like they're at a diner, and these people are talking like, oh man, that reminds me of this other dude that they gave a weird nickname to. What was his name? And then Bruce Willis is like, the Glass Man. So it's like a reference to Unbreakable, and Bruce Willis is still alive.
Oh
so I'm just like, dude, if they do a sequel where James McAvoy goes up against fucking Bruce Willis, I'm down. But
that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I can definitely understand why somebody could see a problem with this movie, but from M. Night Shyamalan, it could have been so fucking bad. And it's just inspiring that, this dude's taken so many L's throughout the years. I mean, since the fucking Sixth Sense, dude, people have been giving him shit.
Cause like
even with Signs, people were like, dude, what, a fucking alien can't break through wood? Like, why would they come to a planet?
You can kill them by water, and you can
3/4 of the planet.
You can hit him with a bat. Like, dude, that was even as a kid, I thought that was really silly. Like Mel Gibson and his son and the aliens in the house, and he's like, do it. And then he just grabs the bat.
Swing away.
Yeah, and then the alien lets him grab the bat.
Another thing about Split is also it sort of plays into M. Night's strengths, which is very small movies.
Yeah.
Like, I sort of gave him. I'm giving him a little bit more slack for The Last Airbender because that's just not the style that he's good at. He's good at very close knit, tight movies, and this movie is very small. It's a very small cast. You just have the main girl who does a pretty solid performance, James McAvoy, the other two girls, and like the therapist, and I guess also the main character, the girls. She definitely works through these problems a lot more realistically, like. Because like these other girls, they're just privileged. The whole thing is that they're privileged people. So they're like, oh no, when he comes out, we're just gonna do this. She's like, we're just gonna beat the shit out of him. We'll get out. And she's just like, dude, I saw him knock you out and like lift you like you're nothing. We can't fucking fight our way out of this. Yeah. So the whole movie is just her trying to fucking survive long enough to get out.
Oh my god.
And yeah, in terms of Shyamalan movies, pretty fucking solid, and I'm glad that he made a. I'm glad he's back, man.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know that. We'll see the next film.
Oh yeah, because I think people were like, when The Village came out, people were very split on on whether he was back or not.
I have friends who really like The Village. Like,
regardless of whether he's back or not, I'm just glad that he gave us a solid movie.
That's great. So, moving forward, my number 4. And this movie's been on my radar for a while now, and I'm finally glad I got to see it. Like, in a setting with, like, some friends, too.
Yeah.
Like, other friends. Like, it was a big get-together. There was 6 of us. Just got together to watch a movie. And it's cool when you do that for movies that aren't super, like, mainstream popular. It's not like, this one wasn't a slouch or anything, but it's Ingrid Goes West.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that movie.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza. Phenomenal. I loved it.
Yeah.
I adore Aubrey Plaza. She's fantastic in Parks and Rec. She's one of the only things you could call good in Dirty Grandpa.
They're gonna be like Dirty Grandpa. Mike and Dave need wedding dates.
Hey, like honestly, like
I think she's very talented, very funny, very beautiful.
Yeah, I love Aubrey Plaza. She's usually even when she's given garbage, she's the best thing about most things I see.
Yeah.
One thing I need to watch is she was the voice of Grumpy Cat in that movie they made about her. Remember that? Yeah. So what Ingrid West is that like she's like this insane person.
Yeah.
Like what it is that her mother died, and like her mother is. This is all kind of subtext, by the way. But like her mother died, and it's assumed that like she said the way she describes it was like losing my best friend.
Yeah.
So what she does is she gets obsessed through social media.
Yeah.
So what she does is through Instagram, whenever anyone like likes her shit or tells her something nice, she becomes obsessed with the person. So the movie's about like this like really like posh like LA Beverly Hills like Instagram like artist where she's like, oh my god, just had these fetch avocado things at this restaurant. Like and so she responds to one of her Instagram posts, and she gets all of her life savings to move to LA and befriend her.
Jeez.
Yeah. And so it's a very creepy stalker thing, and it just goes through them and she manages to be her friend.
Yeah.
So it just goes through that. It has O'Shea Jackson, son of Ice Cube, in it. His defining character is that he really likes Batman. That's really it. Like he's the landlord.
That's a pretty solid defining character.
Yeah, dude, he's this cool dude. He sells drugs, but he's fine. He plays this really likable character.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely the straight man of everyone in this movie.
Yeah.
And like he's like the landlord of the house she rents, and he's a screenwriter, and he's just like I'm trying to pitch the next Batman movie. He just loves Batman. Yeah. One of the best scenes in the movie is because she's trying to use him to be her boyfriend because she lied to the friend about like having a boyfriend. And the way she does is she goes out with him. She connects with him and shit.
Yeah.
And they have this sex scene where like he's laying in bed, and then like Aubrey Plaza emerges wearing like a Catwoman mask, and she's like meow, and she's like, oh yeah, call me Bruce, baby. And it's just like, it's incredible. Like that's it. That's really it. He sells drugs and he loves Batman. Like so like, And then along the way, like, she gets caught that she just, like, faked her way through to be friends with this. But also, one of the things she realizes is that, like, she befriends, like, this celebrity, this Instagram celebrity.
Yeah.
But, like, she sees that all of the things she was saying to her, like, that were really nice and genuine, she was saying to other people that could further her career. So it became, like, when you want to put forth an idea, it's what you do is you put it next to something exaggerated. Yeah. So yeah, you have this super, like, they had this big falling out where they're like, you're a fucking stalker psycho who used social media to befriend me, to lie and befriend me. Yeah. And she says, like, well, like, you're fake as shit too. And, like, yeah, she's not as bad as the stalker, but it really makes you think, like, how much of this is actually different. Yeah. Like, living your life super fake through social media. And it ends wonderfully. Honestly, the ending's so wonderful, I don't even want to tell you. Whatever, I'll tell you.
I'm probably not going to watch it.
Yeah. So what it is that, like, after she gets found out and she gets verbally, like, destroyed by this chick, she decides to attempt to commit suicide. Yeah. And she, like, films herself doing it. Oh, shit. And, like, yeah, so it was her final Instagram video, like, of her, like, man, like, I've been lying to you this whole time, and I'm shitty, and I'm scared because I want to be better, but I'm afraid this is it, so whatever. So she swallows all these pills, and she just waits to die. But O'Shea Jackson saves her, gets her to the hospital just in time. And turns out her suicide video went viral. Oh, shit. Yeah, it went viral. Everyone was, like, relating to her and telling her how much they loved her and stuff like that. And she got a hashtag going, #I am Ingrid. So it's this really, like, fucking cruel ass irony of, like, that, like, oh, they love that she was so real in that moment, but they don't know anything about what led to that moment, what led to that particular video. Yeah. So they're worshiping an ideal that they're making up, the same way Ingrid was doing to this other character. So, like, it was really powerful. #I am Ingrid. It was like, it's all the people using social media incorrectly. Like, we are all this really fake psycho that's living life through this really thick lens, really thick lens, and passing it off as it being real. Yeah. And it got much, like, it was weird. You almost felt bad, like, for Ingrid, like, even though she was a creepy stalker, but, like, Aubrey Plaza's so inherently likable and amazing, that, like, you almost wanted to see her be friends with the Instagram girl, even though, like, you knew it was wrong. And, like, when the Instagram girl was being mean to her, like, you felt bad for Aubrey Plaza. I'm like, you're the one stalking her, but how dare she? Like, how dare she? It was just great. I appreciate it a lot. I love Aubrey Plaza. I would highly recommend it to anyone. Again, Neon. These people have an excellent track record of films. I'm gonna keep track of this company because they seem to be only bringing out quality content.
Damn, 2 on your top 10, man.
Yeah, man.
Pretty good.
Yeah, dude. 2 in my top 6. Yeah. Yeah, but okay, you're number 4.
All right, so again, this is gonna really show you how good my next 3 are. Yeah. Because this one is just a fucking great movie.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I just want to say that even if you ignore the social commentary, which is fucking amazing. Yeah. Even if you ignore just all the subtle metaphors that you see throughout this movie that warrant a repeat watch, even if you ignore all that, it's just a solid fucking movie. And so obviously my number 4 is alright, I just need to say it, man. Alright, number 4, you know what it is? Paper Towns.
Dude, I was like, what?
Shut up. So it's about Nat Wolff, right?
Shut the fuck up.
So Nat Wolff is just this nerdy kid.
Oh my god, he's running. I'm gonna put, like, the movie thing with a question mark on it.
So Nat Wolff is just like this kid, right? I mean, he's just a nerdy kid. Nobody really relates to him. Yeah. And he's got these nerdy friends, and he wants to live life, but he really can't. So then you got Margot. I think that's her name. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
How long is he gonna do this?
Get Out. Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if I just, like, did the whole fucking section on Paper Towns? Paper Towns isn't that great of a movie, so I want to like it's Get Out.
Oh my god. You are
like, wouldn't it be great if I just like did the whole thing on paper towns and just like never and just like all right, that's it.
That's it. Like,
I just the best podcast don't get to Get Out.
Your number 4 is Paper Towns, released in 2015. Like,
damn, was it really released in 2015?
I think so. It was a few years ago, 2015, 2014. Anyway, yeah, Get Out's phenomenal. I feel like
it's a fucking. I'm getting like it's just. Fucking the main lead.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal actor.
Yeah. Daniel, what?
I mean, one of the best
Daniel Kaluuya, I believe.
One of the best American accents I've heard.
Yeah, from a British guy. Like a very believable, like Ebonics. Like he wasn't super like, hey, yo man, like anything like that.
So.
Yeah, like Jokers must be crazy. Like, very believable.
Yeah, like with someone like Andrew Garfield, you can still kind of tell that. He's not entirely
American.
Yeah,
like no,
dude, like I did not know at all he was British.
Yeah, it was a pretty big surprise to me. Like one of the most like subtle, like because I read a thread about it on Twitter that Daniel Kaluuya doesn't bring forth this incredible Leonardo DiCaprio in a fucking frozen tundra performance, but like Daniel Kaluuya represents like all of like African Americans in America, so he had to like touch on the subtleties of like being an everyday man, but still invested, but still be invested in this like really exaggerated situation. Not to mention like. Also, like, how fucking awesome and cathartic him overcoming the white family is.
Oh, dude, that when he's just, like, fucking taking people out of jail. It's like, dude, I'm in it, man.
I think the best one had to be when he was, like, calculating, like, how to properly open the door at the right time to overcome, like, his opponent. And just, like, how he was rehearsing it. And just, like, the fact, like, horror movies are so devoid of smart people. Yeah. It felt good. Like, that entire climax was devoted.
He's just straight up taking people out.
Yeah, one by one, outsmarting them.
Yeah, and like I love that one scene where like he sees the mom, right?
Yeah.
And then they both look at the cup and they look back at each other and they both like make a dash for it. Like dude, so that whole ending scene was great, but even everything leading up to that was also phenomenal.
Yeah, everyone's great. Like I love
all of the performances were on point, man.
Yeah, I love
that dude who played L, who says "Get out." He had a bit part, but like
Keith Stanfield.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah, he played L. You're right. But he like even even the few parts that he was in, he also did great. Yeah, just especially like how just genuinely like unnerving he was.
Yeah, and acting very white.
Yeah, he was just like, and then when the flash, how he like his face when he went from like to that instant like aggressive frown, like oh my god, it was heartbreaking seeing him just begging him to leave, like oh my god. And it was really funny. I saw this movie like at the time my girlfriend was also white. Yeah. And like the night before I saw this movie the night before I was gonna go spend a few days with her family like in Houston. Jeez. Yeah, so like that was a little weird. But yeah, dude, like I love all the characters were so deliciously awkward in a really like subtle ways. Like even though they were like, dude, I would have voted for Obama a third time, and I'm like, I still don't like you.
Yeah. Like you, I didn't believe you voted for a first time.
Yeah. And then that super unnerving like contemporary auction, like that such a powerful scene, dude. Like. Just phenomenal.
And I like, what was it, the dude who like actually bought him? He's like, oh, I'm not racist.
Yeah, I'm not like those other guys.
But I still want to take over your body.
Yeah.
For your other reasons.
And like, the cultural appropriation is like so like clear, but we'll go more into that later.
Yeah. And there's just so many solid scare scenes. Mm-hmm. Like that scene where, what was it, the guards keeper was running straight towards him. Oh, that terrified
me. Like, and he was right smack in the middle of the frame. Yeah. And it was just super unnerving. And that whole scene where what's the name of the woman? The woman caretaker.
Like oh, you mean Tattletale?
Yeah. Like she does that cool, like very subtle, like face thing where like They honestly, you gotta be some kind of brilliant. It's Betty Gabriel.
Yeah.
You have to be some kind of brilliant actor to have the camera on your face for that long and not make it silly. Like you believe every bit of emotion that was in that. And honestly, like one of the more underrated scenes of like genuine like unnervedness was the one like after he had like killed like a few of the family members.
Yeah.
They cut to like the girlfriend, like in the room, and she's like searching like NAACP highest prospects. And like she's eating like Fruit Loops one by bites, and then taking sips of milk with it. Yeah. Like I was like, ugh, you're the fucking worst.
Like, dude, like you're too white.
Yeah, like that's aggressively white. Like even white people are like, nah, dude, don't do that.
This is what other races think white people are.
Yeah, like, yes. This is oh my god. Like this is what the worst white people think white people are.
You eat peas one at a time.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking weird. Yeah, like take the worst white guy ever and tell him to imagine the worst white person. That's what that was. Oh my god, it's so good.
And I think the only problem I kind of had was really just one scene where like his friend goes to the police office to give him like the story.
Yeah.
Like a very for the most part, it's very realistic. Yeah. I just think it's a little unrealistic that he would think that the police would take his story seriously.
Yeah, well, he was kind of a dumb guy.
Yeah, but other than that, I fucking love the scene at the end when the police car rolls up, and you're like, no, the racist dude from the beginning! And then it pans to the fucking door, it's like, airport security. I'm like, fuck yeah!
Like, dude, that ending was so powerful. Like, I'll get to it more when we get to my entry.
Yeah, and like, even the fucking opening scene where like, I sort of went into it like, I'm gonna look at like different shit, right? I'm gonna focus on symbolism. I tend to not to.
Yeah.
And I didn't with this one because I really just get wrapped up in the story. Yeah. The one thing I noticed at the beginning was the font color of Get Out.
Yeah.
And then like at the end when it pops up that weird movie that they show, it's the same font color. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed for the like few seconds that I actually tried to pick up on things.
Dude, I think like another underrated aspect of like the set design, like that room that he's in when he's getting hypnotized, like it's so aggressively white, like it's so like
Jordan Peele did a fantastic job with this movie because like cinematography was very solid, it was very good thriller, and just like even like the open field, it just looked nice.
Yeah, I think like I'll get to more.
It managed to set up a good air of like thrill, suspense, even when they were just having a normal ass party.
Yeah, I have much more to say, but we'll do that when we get to
my and
kind of plow through the rest of mine.
Shit, what else? There's something else that I wanted to say. But I forgot. If it comes up, it might come up in yours. But I just want to say that, like, yeah, it's just a fucking solid movie, man. I really. A lot of people didn't put this one on their list because I said that I watched a lot of them, and like, dude, if it's not on your top 10 list, like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah,
man?
Like honestly, like Get Out is the movie of 2017. Like if you like Get Out was the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's arguably the only one that mattered. Like it mattered the most. It made a lot of history, man, and it better win that Oscar. Literally no reason for it to not. Like if the Oscars.
I mean, good thing it didn't come out in 2015. It wouldn't have even gotten nominated.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Make it better. And no bullshit. Like, oh, it won alongside this one or whatever. Like,
well, yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah, like yeah.
I think 2015 was really like the Oscars are so white. Was really when I started taking the Oscars less seriously. Or I just like it's a joke. Like it doesn't even matter because like in that one. They snubbed Selma.
Yeah.
Which I watched was a great movie.
Selma's phenomenal.
But here's the thing, it's made by a bunch of old white men who probably lived during that time period and they don't really want to be seen as the bad guys.
Yeah.
Because like in a slave 12 Years a Slave, like, oh yeah, like it's important to show that slavery was bad. But like that wasn't us. That was people, that was like our ancestors. We weren't racist. But when they show Selma, it's like, oh, that was you, most likely. The people who were fucking in the Oscars, so they're like, yeah, let's just pretend that never happened.
Yeah, it's great. Moving forward, this is where like we can kind of end up plowing through the rest of mine because my number 3 favorite movie of this year is Captain Underpants. Yeah. Just again, like I loved it. I was a huge fan of it as a kid, and just seeing it done, like it makes me wonder how any adaptation is ever bad.
Yeah.
And how like it's like you put this up there with like South Park or Batman Arkham Asylum as like just one of the greatest like art like adaptations ever.
Also, like they did a fantastic job on that song.
Yeah.
On the theme song.
Oh yeah. Are you worried about impending doom? Like Weird Al is fantastic.
Yeah.
By the way, what I mean by that is like how like Batman Arkham Asylum and Stick of Truth are great adaptations, like some of the finest adaptations ever. And I think like Captain Underpants goes up there as like having one of the more phenomenal transitions from book to movie.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Next month we're gonna be getting another one of those with Ready Player One.
You know we're not. You know we're not.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be fucking bad. I'm excited.
We need to go see the last Maze Runner movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah. We.
Josh, March 30th. Mark it on your calendar. Ready Player One.
Oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right. We go.
I'm going with or without you on March 30th.
I'll leave my calendar open. But yeah, my favorite joke in the movie was during the invention convention when Melvin was like introducing the binder. Having trouble organizing your binders? Well, look no further than this giant binder. 4 binders. And I just love jokes like that say the same word over and over again, like just cracking up.
It's just great,
having
dude.
trouble organizing your binders.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, such a fucking funny one.
Yeah, having trouble organizing your binders. We'll have this binder. It's just great, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like again, like we already did a lot of talking. Like, so what was your number 3?
So this is gonna. So I think like it's gonna be opposite, like for us, 'cause like you're just gonna plow through yours. Yeah. Mine, I'm gonna take a little bit more time because I think I feel like I've talked less about the movies lower on the list because like this is where the movies start to mean things on a personal level.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I mean, Get Out, phenomenal movie, but it didn't really hit me in a personal level like my number 3 did. My number 3 is Logan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It's a really solid movie, dude. It's essentially what DC's trying to do, but DC can't fucking bite the bullet enough to make the jump to a dark and gritty. It's not even like super. Because like it's Wolverine is an old man already. He's in like you know how like the timeline is like sort of fucked, right? With the X-Men, like the biggest thing about this movie is how it represents real life.
Yeah.
In a weird way, because in real life, all of the old X-Men are sort of phased out of X-Men.
The X-Men? The X-Men but the Mexican?
X-Men.
X-Men.
X-Men. Yeah, so all the old X-Men have been replaced with these brand new, young, up-and-coming stars. And they're doing their own timeline that has nothing to do with the original, and now Disney's bought it, so now X-Men is very what's the word I was looking at? Market friendly. Very safe. It's very essentially it's basically going to be Marvel, I'm assuming. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's definitely not the same as it was, and that's what this movie is trying to portray. It's trying to play a man who, you know, he's from a dying breed. All of the X-Men in this universe are fucking dead, except for Charles Xavier, who's on his fucking deathbed. The world is essentially cured natural mutation.
Oh, really?
So no more mutants are being born, except for the ones that they're creating.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, it's like, all the mutants are fucking dying out, and he's just a man trying to get enough money. He's taking care of Charles Xavier because he's on his deathbed. He should be in a nursing home, but you know, because he has superpowers, they go out of whack. So he has him in Mexico, and he's fucking giving him money in order to pay for his medications, and that's just what he's doing right now. And his healing factor is slowly deteriorating, so it's working less and less as the movie goes on. And then he ends up finding he ends up having to take care of this little girl, right? who we know is X-23, and she's his fucking clone. So essentially, it's him, Charles Xavier, and this little girl going on a road trip to get to Canada so that they could give her safe passage. And it just hits me on that emotional level of this is the end of a fucking era. An end of a superhero generation that we're never going to see again. We're never going to see these original X-Men movies again. We're never going to see any of that cast. We're not going to see Halle Berry as Storm. And we're not going to see Charles Xavier played by Patrick Stewart anymore. It's just going to be James McAvoy. Which did a pretty solid job in Split, but he's not a great fucking Charles Xavier when you compare him to Patrick Stewart.
Well, Patrick Stewart was like born to be that guy. Like you look at him, like it'd be stupid if they didn't. I didn't see it, but I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Especially since like I can't imagine Marvel as it is doing like X-Men super well. I mean, they'll do it fine, the same way they do everything just fine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't see them bringing anything exceptional to X-Men that like.
And ever since they rebooted the X-Men to be a younger generation, a lot of those movies haven't been well received either.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing like, cause I guess like if you like, we've had this discussion before on how like when Disney bought Fox, and now people are excited because now X-Men are going to be able to involve in the MCU, but they're ignoring the potential monopoly shit going on here.
Yeah. It's kind of like, the only reason I like Guardians of the Galaxy so much was because it had nothing to do with the fucking MCU. I'm fucking tired of everything being connected to a single point.
It's almost over. Like, it's over next year. And we can't. We just need to sit through the disappointment that will be Infinity War, and we'll be done.
Yeah.
And we can focus on just having cool movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Actually, Wasp and the Ant-Man looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it does. I can't wait.
Yeah, and again, like it's rated R, so he gets to use his claws to the fullest, fucking murdering people, but never dwells on, oh, look how edgy it is.
Look how bloody.
Yeah, it's more portrayed as this motherfucker has claws. Of course he's gonna kill people. And so at X-23 too. Of course she has claws. So what the fuck else are you gonna do with claws to kill people?
Yeah, I'm gonna scratch you and leave a mark.
Yeah, and it's funny because I saw this with my mom, and so like the little girl, I hate to say this, but like she doesn't speak through the most of it.
Yeah.
And when she does, my mom was like, yeah, I didn't like that little girl when she spoke. I liked her better. Well, because like she's white, right?
Of course.
But like the base that they created her in was in Mexico.
Yeah.
So she speaks a little bit of Spanish, which is fine, but then she starts speaking English. And it's clear that she can't do a Spanish accent. Because like it's like this. You are dying. You want to die.
Oh no.
Charles told me so. Oh yeah. What else did he say? He told me not to let you. But have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I've seen it.
With her, like, dude, such a fucking perfect song to capture what this character is going through, and the ending is just so fucking powerful, dude. So Charles Xavier, if you don't mind spoilers,
yeah, I don't care.
He dies.
Yes.
Due to a better clone of Wolverine. Wolverine manages to get this little girl to her friends who are also mutants, and then they're fucking running towards the border of Canada, right? Like, tons of people, and then basically Wolverine like takes a drug that overexerts himself, and he fucking kills everybody, and it's great. But I mean, after that, like, he can't heal anymore, so he dies.
Oh my god! And
they have a funeral for him. And this is the part that almost made me cry, but it didn't. When they're gonna leave, they have the cross, right? X-23 stays for a little bit. She takes the cross, she puts it on the side to resemble the X, and then she leaves. And then the movie ends. I'm just like, God damn, that was such the fucking X, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, there was another great scene too that I forgot, where like. The little kids, they have X-Men comics, and he's flipping through the X-Men comics. Wolverine is like, I mean, yeah, that happened, but like a lot of this is just kind of bullshit. I mean, it didn't happen this way.
It was violent, and I almost died.
Yeah, like, all of my friends died. Like, dude, everybody's dead in this universe. And the greatest thing is that apparently it has nothing to do, like, with the Old Man Logan comics, other than the fact that it's just called, like, Logan.
Oh, my God.
So, like, apparently, like, there's, like, a lot of weird shit going on in the Old Man Logan comics. And I respect that they're willing to do something different.
Yeah, dude.
Because at this point, fuck the comics.
Yeah, I know shit.
And, like, yeah, that's why it really resonated with me on a personal level.
Mm.
Because, like, there's two superheroes that I fucking loved growing up. It's Spider-Man and it's Wolverine. And I'm glad that
two big ones.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're willing to give Wolverine a conclusion to where even if they recast him, even if they do whatever with the MCU, I can at least say this is where it ends.
Yeah.
This is the turning point. I understand, because this movie's basically saying, like, hey, things aren't going to be the same. This generation's dying out, and that's just the way it is.
I think, at the very least, it's a cool ending for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yeah, who has been the character for so long, and he's really defined the character in a movie sense.
Yeah.
So it's a cool way to send him off, at the very least. Yeah, we can, again, like, plow through mine, because my number 2 is Coco. Like, yeah. I was like, wow, you're plowing through my top 3 on really low shit, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. Like, dude, you're going to be pissed on my next one.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, Coco, phenomenal. I never felt more happy to be watching a movie. Yeah. Honestly, like, Pixar has lost their reputation, but I do think Coco would fit right into the older brilliant movies. Yeah. I do think that. I think like Coco is up there as among easy at the very least my second favorite Pixar movie. I'm flipping back and forth between whether I like Coco more than Incredibles or not. Yeah. But I think like Incredibles was just a more unique experience. Yeah. They're different enough to where
where's my super suit?
Where's my super suit?
Fucking iconic.
Yeah, dude. I think like Rich Brian, a rapper, had like a line. He was all like skating away like in Frozone, like and I'm just like, yeah, this guy. But all right, fine. Let's see. Your number 2. You pissed me off. Just do it.
All right. I just want to say, like, I get why you love Coco so much. I do like Coco a lot. It's just that, it just wasn't what I. It's basically the hype train. Honestly,
yeah, maybe.
I really had to accept earlier on that. That Pixar just isn't the same as it used to be. Like, it's not gonna make like groundbreaking films. It's just to make really good ones. That's just a problem that I have to overcome. Okay, so my number 2, I just want to say that this movie, essentially reminded me how amazing it is to watch movies. Yeah. Like in a theater. Yeah. This was the best theater experience I've had in a long time. It's just so phenomenal. I mean, I actually forgot that I watched this movie. I remember it was like, I need to put this movie on here because it really, I felt the fucking community, man. I felt it when watching this movie, and it was just such a monumental experience that I could not put this on. So, my number 2 is Sailor Moon, Promise of a Rose.
Shut up.
Dude, I'm fucking serious. I put that on my number 2.
What?
Yeah. Oh, shit. I gotta exit it out.
Oh, my God. Why?
We saw it. Hey, they played that shit in theaters. I'm counting it.
We were there. Yeah, I was there with you. We hated it.
It was fucking amazing.
Oh, my God.
You can't. Oh my God. This is the fucking best so bad as good movie ever. So bad as good that it transcended everything and it put it on number 2.
You're so shitty. I hate you.
It's so fucking good, dude.
I love that movie, hating it more than anything.
Dude, you got the... Oh my God.
Was that this year?
Yeah. Dude, it was like... Yeah.
I didn't put that on. I would have put that at like bottom 10.
It was so fucking amazing, dude.
Oh my God.
Oh man. So the first thing that we see is a recap episode. No, before that, we see a fucking interview with the cast, the voice acting cast, and it goes on for so long that everybody in the theater was just like, yo, so like, is the movie gonna fucking start or
yeah,
what?
I remember.
So everybody's just talking.
I was there with you.
Oh man, yeah.
Dude, like we were both like, is this fucking it? Like, what's happening? Like,
and then it starts with a recap episode.
Dude, I was
like a shitty anime recap episode where they basically tell you who all of these characters are and what their powers are. And that when it was about to end, I don't know if you remember this, I said roll credits, and fucking credits started rolling, and it was too much. I had to step out and wash my face because it was so amazing that it actually happened.
Oh my god, I hate you so much right now. That was hilarious. I think the most hilarious thing is when like the chick pulled out her little laptop to like, we gotta find the source of the power, and it was like a flower. So he's like typing, and he was like, "It's over there," and it's like it's like 10 feet away.
Just like, oh no, no, dude. There's also this part where like, I think Sailor Moon is passed out, and then the little chibi girl like gives her mouth to mouth, but then it's like it's for like, I don't know, like 20 seconds. It's just like a still frame. And it goes on for probably longer. It goes on for so long that we actually consider getting up and leaving the theater to tell them that the screen was broken. Yeah. And right when you were about to stand up and go tell them that it was broken, she wakes up like, "Oh my god, what the hell just happened? What are you doing?" Yeah. She plugs her nose, and it's just a fucking still frame of that.
Yes.
And it's flowing so long, and we.
I remember that. Just.
Awful. Oh my god, so much fucking goofy shit.
I hate you
There's
so much.
This part at the end where like she just fucking dies.
They fuck her up.
Yeah, they fuck her up so bad. You're like, oh dude, this is not okay. Yeah. She is not okay.
That's incredible. I hate you so much.
Wait, and there was also that scene where like the dude pushes her. But like it shows like him like with that weird fucking smirk. It's like,
yeah.
And it's like, huh? And he pushes her and she's like, ah! Oh my god!
I cannot believe you've done this to me.
Dude, I'm laughing so much just thinking about it. That's why I couldn't help but put it on here because it's just so fucking amazing.
Oh my god!
If you want to pretend that this movie exists, then Logan is my number 2, and Dark Side of Dementia is my number 10. But if not, then my number 2 is this one. Because just, again, like, everybody who was in that theater was just it was a very small theater, too.
Yeah.
Just having the fucking time of their lives.
It wasn't as packed as, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was.
Yeah. And again, we don't like Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
The reason we watched this one, I just went online check the movie times. They're playing Sailor Moon. So I just call you up like, yo, you want to go watch Sailor Moon?
I was like, yeah, I do. And I thought it was going to be like an actual movie and not like...
Yeah, that was another thing too. I thought it was going to be like a remake or like a I thought it was going to be like Battle of the Gods.
Yeah.
Where it's just like a new movie, sort of either retelling the old story or pushing a new arc forward. But no, it was just straight up the 1997 movie in a theater. And it's so fucking funny. Dude, I could not get a theater experience like this with any other movie, dude. It's just so fucking phenomenal.
Oh my god.
You're gonna hate it, man.
I hate you so much.
Like, I'm just happy just thinking about the experience. Like, rarely does a movie make me this happy just thinking about it.
You know, I'm really happy for you. I'm glad. I'm glad. My God. I'm moving forward.
Wait, did you seriously think I was fucking with you when I said it?
Yeah, I thought you were because I know you and you were building it up, and I'm like, he's gonna have a dumb joke, and like, but no, it's real.
That's what I thought it threw you off. That's what my plan. Throw you off with the Paper Towns one.
Oh my god! So yeah, you bitch. It's all premeditated.
Yes,
You're the worst.
So because when I remembered this movie, I was like, "Holy shit! Say, how did I forget I watched this movie, dude? I gotta put this on here." Oh man, seriously, I'm happy just thinking about the experience.
I'm glad.
And everyone, we couldn't stop laughing after we got out of the theater.
Yeah, it was a nice experience, yes. I did have fun watching garbage-ass movie with my friend. moving.
I want to, like, dude, like, oh my god, I want to watch it in the theater again.
Oh my god.
Like, this is a theater experience that you need. Oh man, a rare experience that not a lot of people get, but it really restored the movie going experience for me.
Yeah. I hate you. So anyways, I also feel that way about this next movie. But this is my number one movie.
Which I already know what your number one is.
My number one is Get Out. I couldn't. Like, honestly, the minute I finished Get Out, I was like, nothing's beating this. I can see the best movies ever. Nothing's beating this. I remember there's a lot of things like on the side of this movie that made me love it too. Like, I remember like Jordan Peele tweeting like, "I designed this movie for theaters." Okay, I designed it for you to sit there with a group of people and see it on a big screen. So be sure to do that. And I was like, "Fuck you, Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
I don't care how good the movie is. Don't pretentiously be like that. I'm gonna rent this shit out of spite." And then I watched it rented, and I'm like, God, I should have saw this in theaters. Like, I could tell by the way, like, no, he's right. This is designed for theaters, and it's amazing. I think, like, after the Oscars, it's going to go back into theaters. So I'm going to do that. We should do that. But, yeah, dude, and also, like, another annoying thing that, like, really, it's almost a testament to how good the movie is there was one award show in particular that had Get Out under comedy. Yeah. Yeah, and, like, the thing about that is that Get Out is so, like, genre defying. Yeah. It's super, like, I mean, it calls itself a horror film, but it doesn't feel like one, not remotely. Yeah. It's like
more like a thriller.
Yeah, it's more like a thriller, but thriller is so vague. Yeah. Because any movie can be thrilling. Uh-huh. So, like it's like a social commentary thriller is what I've seen. So, but, I mean, is it annoying that this is genre defying and the thing they took away from it was that it was funny? Yes, it's horrifying. Yeah, like they saw all of this like metaphor and symbolism for racism, and they're like, look at the black guy, he works for the DA or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, I think the ending was the most powerful scene in this entire movie because usually in horror movies, the cop showing up is the sign of safety. Like, because usually like the big climax happen. You know, like even in action movies, like after the climax has happened, the buildings explode, the killer's been caught. The final scene is always all the cops and the ambulances there. Yeah. And they're like in the blanket. Uh-huh. And it's like, okay, it's safe. So he's there. We know this white woman is the most dangerous thing in this movie. Yeah. But the minute this cop car rolls up, the movie's plot just stopped mattering. Just suddenly everything you knew about the movie faded away. And
I didn't even think about that, but you're like, oh shit, like that's my action, like, oh shit, the cop. Yeah, this is a black man.
Yeah, this is a black man choking out a white woman. Like all of your knowledge of film, everything you know about like what cops mean in film, just faded away into a cruel reality of what it actually means to be a person of color encountering police. Mm-hmm. And like for a second, you're like, are you fucking kidding me? He survived all of that just to have a cop fuck him up like that? Yeah. And you want to cry because, like, you're not even thinking about logic of film. Like, you're like, you cease to be a moviegoer at that point, and you're just a horrified passerby that's forced to see the reality of this man's life. And like when it turns out to be his friend, you're fucking and like, but afterwards you're still like, shit, the cop showed up and you were genuinely terrified. Yeah. Like this movie was full of like white people wanting to steal the brains of black people and just all of these horrific things. And the scariest thing in the movie was a cop rolling up. Yeah. Like, what does that say? And like that was the most brilliant part of this movie. It felt like the movie. I think there's an alternate ending to where like it actually was a white cop that does like kill him at the end, but that isn't as powerful. Yeah, like it's like seeing it happen just makes it sad. Like, but like the implication is what made it even more powerful. Yeah, because like it turned out okay, but you were 100% sure it wouldn't. Mm-hmm. And that's just terrifying. The way we live in a world where we just assume that of that situation. Yeah. God, it was just fucking phenomenal, man. One of the best. I think one of the GOAT movies.
Yeah.
I think one of the goats. I think like in 20 years, we'll be discussing this movie the same way we discuss a lot of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Man.
Number 4. Sailor Moon. Whatever, man. What's your number 1 stupid ass favorite movie of 2017?
Hey, this one is actually a good one.
All right.
Like even if I hadn't, because like I was really debating on Logan.
Yeah.
And Get Out. The only reason I put Logan on ahead of it because I remember like, oh, this is a superhero movie, and it's just so, I guess they really ran with the idea of it's a superhero movie, but we want to set it in a realistic world, or at least a world more grounded in reality. So that's why I was like, I appreciate that they did that before, because like I'm just so tired of these goddamn superhero movies either being super edgy but not having any substance, or just being popcorn movies.
Yeah.
And my number 1 would have been my number 1 fucking regardless. I feel the same way about this one that you do about Get Out. Like nothing's fucking beating this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm actually kind of pissed because it didn't get a lot of hype because Your Name was so goddamn popular. And they'll leave it like, because I heard like I didn't hear about this movie until like one person mentioned it, and I watched it, and I didn't hear shit until it got snubbed for the Oscars because of Boss Baby.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. What's the name of it?
A Silent Voice.
Yeah, okay. It's that like bullying anime movie, right?
Yeah.
You saw that one? Like it has that main character of like the spiky hair, and he bullied that deaf girl.
It's this one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah. Fucking amazing, dude. So fucking good. And like I can I think Mother's Basement mentioned it once.
Yeah.
And I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, I know everything about this movie. He's gonna bully her because he doesn't understand her. Then he's gonna learn, and then they're gonna laugh and love and have a good time. But it's just so not that.
Yeah.
It's just so not what you expected. Again, I'm pissed because nobody was fucking talking about this movie until the end of the year. We got snubbed for an Oscar. I was like, dude, fuck Your Name. Like it's a decent movie, but seriously, fuck it if that one was so much better than this movie. Yeah. It didn't deserve the hype this one does.
I haven't seen it, but I want to. Yeah. And just the premise alone, like
it portrays bullying in one of the most realistic ways that I've ever seen in film. Because so this dude's in this 5th grade class, and he sees this girl who's deaf, and he doesn't have anything against deaf girls. He doesn't have anything against because she's weird or anything. He's fucking bored. Yeah. And that's why he bullies her. And that's like, dude, that's totally like you don't need a fucking reason to bully when you're that young. Yeah, like you don't need to be abused
sometimes
as a kid.
You just genuinely don't think you're doing anything that wrong.
Yeah. And here's the fucking great thing is that this dude's an asshole. But like he exists in a system that allows him to be such a dick. Yeah. Because the teachers don't tell him shit. All the other students, they're not as bad as he is, because he's like physically bullying her. Yeah. But like, they're like talking shit behind her back, and like he's writing shit on the board, and all of his friends are there looking like, dude, that's messed up, man. Like, dude, that's fucked up. Wow, you're going way too far with that, man. Yeah. They just let him fucking write that shit.
Yeah.
And again, they like 5 months into like the bullying, right? It's like 5 months, and they say like, oh yeah, this has been going on for 5 months. She's been losing tons of hearing aids. She's been bullying, and then the teacher was like we all know it's you. So just stand up and admit it. And it's like, you knew it was him for 5 months, and you let it happen. So like, this is just as much as your fault as it is anybody else's. Yeah. Yo.
Stop. We're talking about a movie about bullying.
What? We're talking about a movie about the bullying of a deaf girl.
Yeah, an anime movie that got a lot of silent voice.
Shit, I don't know. I never heard about that one.
This guy.
Oh my god.
And so yeah, like you definitely feel like this kid, this main character, definitely deserves to get punished. Yeah. And like, and here's the great thing is that like in most of these movies, like in Wonder, like the bully gets his comeuppance, right?
Yeah.
And like in this movie, it happens too, where the kid like everybody starts turning on him, but not because he bullied a deaf girl, but because he had the audacity to say, "I'm not the only fucking one doing it."
Okay.
So like they turn on him with like, "Dude, you trying to fucking implement me?"
Yeah, like, so it wasn't like you bullied a deaf girl. It was like you tried to remind me that I bullied a deaf girl.
No, you're trying to blame me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the fucking amazing part.
Yeah.
That's the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay, yeah. He kind of like grows up and he lives with like a regret.
Like, yeah,
right?
he becomes a senior in high school, right?
Uh-huh.
And he just hates himself. He hates the person he was so much that he wants to fucking commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And he even plans it out. Like, you know, he fucking quits his job. He like cancels his phone bill. He gives his mom the money that he owed her from all the hearing aids that he fucked, that he like destroyed from the girl. And the only reason he doesn't is like, so he learns sign language, right? So he can talk to the girl to give like his last like I'm sorry before he fucking kills himself.
Yeah.
But he just says like, can we be friends instead? Like just out of nowhere. So like the only reason he's still alive is because she is willing to accept that, hey, maybe you've changed and maybe I'm willing to give you another shot. Yeah. And they start reconnecting with a bunch of other people from the elementary schools, and you learn like he was punished, so he like learned like not to be a shitty person. But a lot of other people, dude, like all the other people, like they didn't learn shit because they didn't get punished, or like they had no implication in the bullying, so they lived perfectly fucking fine lives, not hating themselves. And even the girl who was bullied, she fucking hates herself too because they made her feel like an inconvenience. And like there's also this small part that I forgot to mention where they want to teach the whole class sign language to like make communicating with her a little easier. And then, you know, you have students being like, that's very inconvenient for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, that's so fucking real.
Yeah.
And oh my god, what else? There's also this part, because like it's also a manga too. It's only 65 chapters. I read it.
Ooh, I should hit that up.
Yeah. Actually, I think the movie is a little bit better because the manga tends to, at times, to be a little over melodramatic. But anyway, so there's this scene, right, where like oh my god, there's so fucking much. Dude. I'll just go through it real quickly. One of the very artistic choices that he does is that he can't look people in the eyes. So that's displayed by having like a blue X over people's faces. And as he learns to accept people as their friends, the X falls off. And I was real torn about whether or not I like this. And I decided that this could only really work in anime.
Yeah, it's a really silly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like there's this fucking heart-wrenching scene where, you know, he's feeling like he has friends. He's happy for the first time in years. And one of his old friends sort of like stages it to where he meets another old friend. And like that's the dude that fucking went hard on him for like bullying the deaf girl and basically made him feel like shit. So when he sees this dude's face, blue X on the girl like fucking immediately, and he just like walks away like trembling. I was like, dude, that's such a like that's such a powerful scene that only really works because of those X's.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It just sounds really relatable, honestly. Like, I mean, like, it's like we weren't the nicest people.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, and like I don't know about you, but I feel bad fairly consistently sometimes of knowing the things I've said to people.
Yeah. Or
like the things I've done to people in life, and it's just like trying to grow out of that is really hard.
Here's the thing, like obviously you would never make a bully the hero or the protagonist, but this movie does, and it really brings up that aspect of he bullied the deaf girl. That's the worst possible thing you could ever do is bully a kid with disability, especially when you're like in 5th grade when you should already at least know a little bit better. So like, can you get past that, and can you move on with your life? And there's this other great scene where I think one scene where the manga did a little bit better was one of the friends who doesn't know about the past. he's just like, oh man, how could anybody bully a deaf girl? It's fucked up, right? In the manga, the way he says it real passive aggressive, like he knows who it is. Like he was the one who bullied us. Yeah. Like, what a piece of human garbage. How could anybody bully a deaf girl? So he's just like, why? Like, he can't know, right? Nobody would ever know. Who told him? And then he looks at one of his friends, and he's like, dude, that girl likes him. So he just kind of goes up to her, and he's like, hey, did you tell anybody about, me bullying her? Because this dude was kind of passive aggressive. Kind of seemed like he knows what's going on, right? And she's like, oh no, I didn't do that. Wait, like, what are you trying to do? Like, what do you mean? Like, oh no, I was just wondering, like, oh what? You think you're a good person just because you learn sign language? That doesn't make you a good person. Fuck you. No, so she just fucking starts going off the handle, and then the dude that she likes comes back. It's like, oh hey, what happened? Like, this motherfucker bullied a deaf girl, and oh my god, there's this great scene too, where like he's like, everybody's blowing up at everybody, and he has that moment where he's like calling people out, but he doesn't do it like in most movies where he just like gets up in their girl and shouts. He just sits down, puts his hand in his head. He's like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Everybody, all of you are so fake. Like, just screw all. He fucking roasts people, but he just does it in his hands. Like, I'm just so tired. And yeah. Oh, man. It's just. And. Oh, it's just a fucking phenomenal movie all the way around, man.
We use phenomenal a lot.
I just can't help it. It's just. It's great, dude.
It's phenomenal.
It's just a great film that sort of looks at, not just bullying from a very black and white perspective of, okay, this dude's the bad guy for bullying this little kid. It's like, no, like, he was a shit kid, but he existed in a system that allowed him to be a shit kid.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, he hates himself for wanting, he hates himself for being that type of person. And at the same time, and they even bring up the question of, you just want to be a good person. You just want to pretend. Like, you're doing all this bullshit. You're being this girl's friend now because you want to redeem yourself. And you think, like, is he trying to just redeem himself, or is he, like, just genuinely a good person? And he just says, like, like, I just want to give her what I didn't give her when we were kids. And at the end of the day, this girl is willing to give him a second chance. So I guess everybody's like, you know what, if this girl's willing to give her a second chance, I guess we should give him a second chance too. And like the girl, so it goes from this guy wanting to kill himself at the beginning of the movie to the deaf girl who also wants to kill herself at the end, because she feels like, because in 5th grade everybody made her just feel like a burden, like an inconvenience. So they sort of come together as adults saying like, hey, we can move forward. We don't have to be defined by what happened in the past. People can change, if only small amounts. Like, cause like the other people, a lot of people don't change in other just small amounts. Yeah. And the only person who really made a huge change was the main character.
Yeah. Sounds wonderful. I definitely do need to see it. It's been on my radar for a while now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. How did you see it? How did you see it?
Online.
Okay.
Well, I couldn't see it fucking. Like, it was in theaters for like a lot less time than fucking Your Name.
Yeah, which is great. Fair, man. Like, just be sure to like just buy it when you get the chance.
Yeah, I will, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I want it.
Yeah, dude. Import it or some shit. Yeah. All right, man. Well, man, that's it. Yeah. 2017 has a clean little bow on it, and we shipped that bitch out. Yeah. Now it's only time to focus on 2018 before we make another list like this again. Yeah. So be sure to follow us on Letterboxd. Keep up with that shit. I haven't seen any 2018 movies yet. Probably be like, that Cloverfield Paradox movie. We'll do that one. And
what was that Liam Neeson movie that came out with the train?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on, I have it on my Letterboxd. I saw that movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Cloverfield Paradox, the other Maze Runner movie. Probably expecting videos of that. The next one is pretty planned out though.
The Commuter, that's what it's called.
Okay. Was that this year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we looking forward to a good year of movies.
Yeah. And then Ready Player One, March 30th.
Stop.
Yeah.
I'm calling it like my second worst movie because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find something. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find something that's racist. And, I'm gonna not want that.
Well, dude, Ready Player One could be racist.
It's possible.
Don't.
They did have the black lesbian girl, didn't she? Didn't they? Like a really tasteless female character.
That was in the book.
Yeah, I know, but she's probably gonna be in the movie then.
Well, I mean, she's represented as a white guy, but I think she's gonna be represented as an orc in this movie, just because like it makes more sense. Because in a virtual reality, why would you just be a generic white dude when you can be a fucking orc?
It's true. Get Out much like it's Get Out, but in a video game.
Yeah.
All right. well, thank you so much for joining us. We will see what 2018 has to hold for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I worded that weird.
Yeah.
I'm ending it right there.